14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome to Podcast with Frank, episode 44. It's going to be a little bit of a different paced one today. We're going to do interesting category with two of my buddies over here. I'll introduce Mike. Say hi to everybody.
What's going on, everyone?
And, and Pat. Pat's here too, guys.
What's going on?
So we'll kind of kick it off just really quickly. How you guys doing with the beginning of the NFL season? How we feeling?
I know we're not doing.
This is a round table of all ashamed people. So
what are we all 0-1 right now?
Yeah, basically. I mean, I don't even know what 0-1 is to you guys because it's like the Washington. Who the fuck knows what they are is kind of
Yeah, well, for people who don't know, I'm an Eagles fan. That was the worst regular season loss I've ever experienced.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
For you, I mean, yeah. At the end of the day, the big thing I've been trying to kind of take out of this as a Giants fan, because last night hurt. I mean, there was good performances from certain people, which is always optimistic, right? Like you got to look at the fucking bright side and be like, the Giants are in rebuild for the 18th year in a row. Like, great, whoop-de-doo. But for you guys, I know it's been hard. Because, again, I'm a Wentz fan. Like, I like Carson Wentz. I liked him coming out of college. A lot of people talk shit on him now.
He was an easy person to root for because he came from
dude, he won 4 national titles or something like that because he redshirted and whatever, and he went to North Dakota State. So, like, I mean, not to say there's no competition, but, I mean, he probably has a pretty nice path to the fucking to the bowl or whatever they've got, but I mean,
if you want to call it that.
Yeah, exactly. What do you call it? The horseshoe bowl or the nutsack bowl? But no, I mean, at the end of the day, that was rough. I know you probably were not happy with their performance in the second half.
Is he healthy?
Yeah, he's healthy.
Okay. He didn't break his back yet.
No, we just lost 2 of our biggest offensive linemen.
I saw that, and
blew a 17-point lead because of it. He got sacked, I think. They said 18% of his drop bats. Yeah. So, that doesn't even count getting hurried or, people coming at you.
Almost one out of every 5 drop back, he got sacked.
Yeah. It was the same thing, actually. It's funny you say that because, again, a lot of people are, shitting on the Giants and being like, well, Daniel Jones shouldn't have thrown that pick. And, look, that pick, that hurt. That was a drive killer.
Can I say one thing about that pick?
Dude, of course. I gotta find it.
First of all, he had probably the best player in that game breathing down his neck. And
not breathing down his neck. He was on his back like Yoda on Luke and Dagobah.
I like to think. I mean, I saw. I haven't seen it since it happened and the replay after it. But what it looked like to me was he was holding. He definitely held on to it way too long. But I'd like to think that he was trying to throw that out the back of the end zone because that's the direction he was looking.
He was, yeah.
And he was. So I mean.
But look, all night, if you watch him all night, he was very good with getting rid of, if he saw a guy was double coverage, but there was nobody else, and he didn't want to look back, he was throwing it aggressively far over him. He was throwing it out of bounds, and I was very happy that he was being proactive like that. But you know what? Again, look, at the end of the day, he's going to take responsibility. He even said today, I was watching some stuff that he's like, look, some of the plays I played well, some of the plays I didn't play well. I like to think that overall I had a pretty good performance and we as a team came together. Automatically, I think they looked better.
They did.
I think
really did.
The Giants looked like a better team this year than they ever did last year. Like any of their games. Wins, losses, doesn't matter. Daniel Jones, in my opinion, just looks more professional. He looks a little bit more prepped for the NFL, I guess you could say.
He definitely looks more polished, and I think that offensive line from the Giants was god-awful.
I have a stat for you because I wanted you to really know how bad
Saquon was getting hit in the backfield every single time he touched the ball.
He got hit in the back, it was 11 times?
So the other thing that was weird, too, is that they only ran the ball to the left side once. Once. Out of all Saquon's runs, he ran it to the left one time. I looked at the breakdown sheet of all the runs. Mm-hmm. Everything was to the right side, which I understand that you have. Who is it? Cam Fleming and
TJ Watt.
No. Offensively, it's Cam Fleming and our right. Our left side is
I don't even know who's starting.
Molly Hernandez and Andrew Thomas,
who played well,
which in my opinion was a stronger side to go to. But I guess they didn't want to give the rookie the responsibility by overloading the box or whatever, so they shifted it. I don't know. Regardless, the stat is Daniel Jones was the highest graded player on the offense last night with an 82.1 overall, best of his career. Great. Jones was under pressure on 26 dropbacks, 6 more than any quarterback in week 1.
And only took 1 sack.
6 more than any quarterback in week 1. So again, look, I said the Giants game and the Eagles game, they paralleled so well in the sense that those men, you can blame them for a couple, like a bad throw here and again, at the last second, he gets hit in the arm and that ball goes up in the air. Anyone is going to pick that ball up. That ball that thing is just floating there. You're going to get that ball.
Yeah.
So it was definitely annoying to watch the two teams because I don't despise the Eagles. They're not my favorite team, definitely. But again, enemy of my enemy is my friend against Dallas kind of thing.
How did Chase do? Chase Young?
Good.
He did good.
He demolished us.
Very good.
I hate to root against people. To me, it's like rooting for somebody to get injured. They've done nothing wrong. I don't like to see individuals not perform up to their potential. But
I want him to.
He was against Jason Peters.
Yeah, I know.
A Hall of Famer. Pro Bowler,
he's a shell of
the bodyguard, and he made him look so silly.
But Jason Peters, even a shell of himself, is still a better offensive lineman than probably anyone on the Giants' offensive line right now. None of them are ready. Dude. I would take Jason. Dude, listen, Jason Peters is a good offensive lineman.
I'll take my my rookie left tackle.
Well, yes, I'm not going to sign Jason Peters for a 10-year deal. The guy's going to be around for a half a year. But regardless,
if that.
The only other thing I'll say is you can't take that. The loss hurts, but that Washington football team defensive front 7 is tremendous.
Yeah, they played really well.
Tremendous. Chase Young, Montez Sweat was the guy they got. I think last year or 2 years ago was a defensive end that dropped later in the draft. No one was really talking about him, but he really had a good year last year, solid year.
And they still have Kerrigan. Who's their all-time sack leader?
Kerrigan, who looked unreal. For record, I said, I'm like, if I were the Giants, I would try to go get Kerrigan. Because Kerrigan, the Giants are the old white school, like, oh, we love white people, so, like, they will straight up go and get, like, no. They went and got Blake Martinez. They went and got, like they are, I hate to say it, a little bit old school. That's all I'll say. But they went and got, the guy Ebner from the Patriots, the special teams guy, Nate Ebner.
The Giants?
Yes, yeah. It was like one of our free agent signings.
What is he? Is he a safety?
He's a safety, but I think he's a special teams guy, like that kind of guy. Whatever. Yeah. They got Fackrell.
Oh, Kyle Fackrell.
And then they got Blake Martinez. And statistically, in my opinion, Blake Martinez is not a good coverage linebacker. I mean, he can block a run very well.
He's pretty good. He's a good player.
No, that was a genuine cough, I swear.
Yeah?
But, no, that was a genuine cough.
Got something on the table there you want to share?
I would say... No, I would say that he's a step up from Alec Ogletree, but that's not really saying much.
You know what?
So,
hate on Alec Ogletree all you want.
No, I don't want to hear it.
Hate on John Beeson all you want. The past 2 premier signing linebackers we had, in their crimes, they were really good. We just got them at the end. We got them at the end.
I hate that you just said that our 2 latest, prior to Blake Martinez, like sexy signings at linebacker were John Beeson and Alec
all past
Ogletree.
Their prime are off like extensive injury.
Oh my God, it hurts. It hurts so bad.
Meanwhile, the Eagles have like the richest linebacking cores.
Oh, and now it's trash.
Yeah.
Isn't?
Yeah. I mean, really we got rid of guys that were offered more somewhere else. And we just spent big on defensive line. Yeah. I mean, we have one of the best defensive lines in the league, but secondary-wise, moving Jalen Mills to safety was a god-awful decision.
Well, you guys have Slay, too, right? Did he play well?
Yeah, he played well.
That's good. I mean, that was a great pickup for you guys. I was so pissed when that happened. I was so pissed.
Yeah, I mean, the last big corner we signed was Nnamdi Asomugha, which we all know how that turned out. But
my God, what a throwback!
He was good for about a second, and then
do you remember? We were in high school when that happened, right?
I think before. Yeah.
No, dude, it was high school because I remember all the Eagles fans were talking about the assembly of players. Like they were
D'Amico Ryans.
They were building. Dude, they were building the Pegasus of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh cards. They thought they were building this.
On paper, that team
was dude. That team was unreal on paper, and it just.
Who was what's his name? Jason Babin and what's his name?
Trent Cole.
Oh my God!
They were the most feared defensive ends.
Jason Babin.
Well, when you have a 9 technique, double 9 technique,
who was the one that we signed? Remember 2 years ago, he was on our team, the other white defensive end.
Connor Barwin.
Yes, Connor Barwin.
Another player who, if we signed him 3 or 4 years before, probably would have been a terrific piece.
Yeah, but the Giants love getting people that are past their...
Yeah, they're like the New York Rangers.
They look for the brown avocado. It's very simple. It's very simple. They look for the thing that is... It's black, basically, rotted.
Yeah, I mean, what do you guys sign Golden Tate to like a... What was the amount?
Okay, we'll move on from here.
Let's not talk about that.
Let's definitely do that instead of...
Right?
No, he was hurt.
Hamstring injury.
But again,
he was day to day.
The bright spot,
so they say.
Again, you can kind of say, like, for you guys, Slay played well. Like, that's a positive. For us, Darius Slayton looked amazing. Like, I'm so happy that we finally have a guy. I'm just praying to God he's not like a Hakeem Nicks where, like, 3 years in a row he has, like, a 1,000-yard, a 900-yard, and a 1,000-yard. And then just...
It's a different kind of player than Hakeem Nicks, though. Hakeem Nicks was such a physical presence in the receiving core. Darius Slayton's more of a cut, hack, and slash guy.
But, I mean, I just see him as a Hakeem Nicks, like... I guess I would combine him as a Hakeem Nicks and Mario Manningham down the sideline guy.
His name got dropped.
Yeah, of course, dude. Listen, as much as you want to hate on Manningham...
No, I don't hate it. I don't hate
him
at
I know,
all.
but I usually even say it, too. Like, everyone compared Ruben Randall to the next. Like, they're like, oh,
no,
like,
that's a
Randall.
name we're not
but they would be like, oh, Ruben Randall's going to be, like, the next, like, they're like, oh, he's the next Manningham kind of guy. But I would say the combination of the two of those would probably be, like, a decent... comparison to him because he is a nice sideline.
Nixing Manningham?
Yes, as a Slayton, because Slayton's like a good down the side guy, but I mean he's got great movement. Like look at what he's did. Like he doesn't really give up on plays. Which is
he our slot guy?
No, I thought Shepard was.
Honestly,
I thought Shepard got moved.
They're kind of similar players. I feel like you could interchange that.
I would prefer Shepard just stays in the slot and just doesn't get the touches because no.
Why?
I'm not the biggest Sterling Shepard fan, if on paper. For a guy that has all the potential in the world, you need to stay healthy. I know health is something. It's like it's wishy-washy. It happens, right? Like, but at the end of the day, it's like if you're gonna have a concussion every year, then you gotta either just call it and be like, listen, I can't play. Like I'm gonna get a concussion every year. I'm not gonna be able to like play for you guys. Like. He hasn't. I don't think he's had a full year.
Oh, 17-3 Yankees over the. Sorry,
that's
I'm looking at stats.
I'm fine with that. That was very positive when I was watching when I was leaving my house. But again,
I'm sorry, 19-3.
19-3, even better. Jeez. But like that. That's the other thing with Wentz.
Toronto.
A lot of people get on Wentz already, and that's a sad situation too. Because I mean, dude, look at the guy. The guy wants to be out there. He's a great team player. He's an amazing captain for you guys. He has all the potential in the world. But sadly enough, it's just the injuries will always find a way with certain guys.
You still talking Shepard?
No, we're talking Wentz. I said.
Oh yeah,
I think people forget that 2017, the year we won the Super Bowl. If you guys forgot,
he was MVP.
He was just under Tom Brady to win the MVP. And he played 4 less games.
Yeah,
like that's incredible.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would say the only thing that also kind of concerns me about Eagles fans is that. You guys, no.
I get this bad rep for liking this team, and it's completely acceptable.
You deserve it.
I'll take it. But I am not one of those guys.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You're not one of those guys.
To our faces, you aren't.
No.
Behind closed doors?
I've said
I'll
this.
Just get on Twitter and just...
I've said this to multiple people. I can have a conversation with Mike about it. I can have a conversation logically about it because he's the one going to go say. He just wore it on his chest that Nnamdi Asomugha was a thing. Other Eagles fans forget that. They just delete that from their past.
It's prehistory.
At the end of the day, like, a lot of Eagles fans are just sitting there and going, well, dude, we should have never gotten rid of Foles. We should have just let Wentz, die. In a perfect world, you would love to have seen that Nick Foles would have been the guy to take you to the promised land for 3 more Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, Nick Foles didn't get you there. He won it for you. Great. He won those last little stretch. But who the hell is to say that he would have won every game in the beginning of the year? You know what I'm saying?
He's going to be remembered like how Jeff Hostetler is remembered.
I got 3 of his jersey.
Why?
Black, white, blue. What do you mean why? That man won us the Super Bowl.
So?
I have 2 Kurt Warner Giants jerseys.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
That's even a bigger why than the previous.
It's a sick jersey because he only played 6 games for us or something like that. So that's why it's a dope jersey because no one has it. I have a Linval Joseph. That's like my favorite.
See, that's fine. Linval Joseph was a good player for us for a while.
Yeah, and we should have never fucking let him leave. But regardless, Frankie's also on the camera because I forgot to announce that. So we're about 35 minutes in, but Frankie's back there hanging. That's right. So Frankie's here.
I do have a question for you guys.
Oh, God.
Are you guys talking about, like... Are you guys done talking about like this, how the first couple games were, kind of deal?
Kind of.
Why do you want us to talk about something else?
Well, no. I want to know. I want to know, like, if you guys are in a fantasy league, and if so, how did you do this week in fantasy?
Why are you the person you are,
Frankie? Ask a different question.
I hold off. I got stuff to finish.
No, I was. Does anyone want to take this before I do?
Yeah, I'll take it. No, I'm not in any fantasy leagues.
Oh, okay.
Not yet, at least. I will be probably next year.
You're taking a year off?
I haven't played in like a couple years.
Really?
Well,
it's better for you that you don't. Yeah. Because I stayed up till 1:30 last night just to lose by 1.3 points. 1.3 on the final drive.
Can I talk about the 1 year I played fantasy?
What year was it?
I don't remember. I remember the year based on the performance my team had. I don't remember specifically the number of the year.
Okay.
But here's my team. My starting quarterback was Peyton Manning. I had Demaryius Thomas.
Peyton Manning Colts.
Broncos.
Okay, all right. So that gives us a good time frame. That wasn't
no,
too
it was
long
like
ago.
2013, 14,
15,
16. No,
17.
I had Peyton. I had Demaryius Thomas in his prime.
Wow.
What was the tight end for them?
For the Broncos?
Yeah, Julius Thomas.
Not Jake Butt.
I know. I had Julius Thomas. I had
the whole Broncos.
I had no Sean Moreno.
Oh my God!
But dude,
that's not how you win fantasy. You can't have everyone from the same team,
bro. I got to the finals.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was the year
the Broncos had a bye.
That was the year that Peyton Manning threw for like over 54 touchdowns.
Oh yeah.
Demaryius Thomas had like 12 of them. Julius Thomas had at least 8 of them.
Was that the year they played the Panthers, or was that the year they got
won? No, they won.
No,
they did get smoked by the Seahawks that year.
Yeah,
yeah, because that's
why Peyton Manning didn't show up in the championship, right?
That was the meeting. I remember that. That was the meeting of one of the best historical offenses to ever play, and one of the best historical defenses.
That defense was. That defense was so effing good.
Yeah,
like that defense. Yeah, I mean that was at MetLife too. That was a close. That was right up here.
I should have won that year.
Yeah, I play way too many fantasy leagues. This year, I kind of only was going to do about like 4. Usually 4 is like my cap. And then my girlfriend and my dad both kind of like were like, oh, like, can you help us with our teams? So I'm basically running those teams as well. And then an old coworker league like needed an extra guy and was just like, hey, like it wasn't a big buy-in. So I was like, fine, no problem.
Do you get compensated for your efforts? In your dad's and your girlfriend's?
No, my dad just asks me how we're doing, and then when I tell him we're losing, he just screams, just gets mad. And my girlfriend doesn't have a clue. I manage that team completely.
I think you deserve a 10% commission.
I deserve more than a 10% commission because of the headache. Right. Because I'm almost positive. So, getting back to it before obviously we eventually get to the main topic, the biggest problem is luckily this year my picks kind of fell all in the same area, which was great. So like I was kind of in the middle of every draft, so I had an idea of who I could get. I basically have the same team on a couple teams, like just a couple key guys that I know are playing. It was 2 of them that I was playing against this week where it was the conflict of interest. I was like, shit. But 3 of my leagues, I projected myself to go 5-2. I was super excited. 3 of my leagues, I had 2 guys playing the same that I just needed minimal points from him. It was anywhere from 10 to 20 points for a win with none of the other teams playing anybody, but I had Saquon Barkley and James Conner. Both the starting running backs for their teams, for their respective teams. I will also add that a couple of those teams I had Nick Chubb in as well. So if you guys know what Nick Chubb did, he got 5 points. So I had 3 starting running backs on my rosters because I had him in my flex for a lot of them. Flex, do you know what the flex spot is?
Yeah.
The flex spot is basically you get your fantasy team, you have 1 quarterback, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, a kicker, a special teams, a tight end, and a flex, which is just an additional player.
You could just put whatever you want.
It could be a tight end. It can be anything but a quarterback, and hopefully not a kicker. Unless you want to.
To take a guess, like the flex player, is it a big player that gets you a lot of points?
You want it to be that guy.
Yeah, you follow baseball, right?
Yeah.
It's essentially like a DH.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
It's 100% the DH. It's everybody that's playing the field plus another guy.
But usually, like, you put your best running backs in, your best wide receivers in, and then you pick from like the rest of the group who you want to be in your flex.
Yeah. Usually it's a wide receiver 2 on somebody's team. Yeah. Usually, depending on how much people.
You normally have 4 to 6 bench players, depending 4 to 7 bench players.
Yeah, I think my league has 7.
I think I have 6 on 1, 6 on 2. So you have those bench players for if a guy gets hurt, or if a guy has a bye week, or better matchups. If this guy's going up against the best defense in the league, you're going to say, okay, maybe I should reassess and put a guy, another guy, a starter. So that's the great thing about fantasy is there is depth. You obviously want to try to get the main guys, the main running backs, the main wide receivers. But a lot of the time in the later rounds, if you find those quality guys
diamonds in the rough.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor, I was telling everybody on, and no one listened to me. J.K. Dobbins and Jonathan Taylor were my 2 big ones this year because statistically, let's go off this really quickly. Mark Ingram is the starting running back for the
Ravens.
Ravens, thank you. I almost said Browns, but I was like, for the Ravens. He statistically in his 10-year NFL career has only played a full season 3 times.
It's a shame too because I think he'd be a great player.
No, he could end up
when he's healthy.
Yeah, he's an amazing player when he's healthy. But that's why I took this guy J.K. Dobbins because he's the backup. So knowing that there's a chance that he will split carries, I did the same thing. Jonathan Taylor was the same way. He was the number 2. And if I'm not mistaken, what's his name just got hurt, didn't he?
Yeah, Marlon Mack actually.
He tore his Achilles.
Yeah. So he's out the whole season.
Yeah.
And now this guy steps up.
So now Jonathan Taylor. So now the guy I picked
is
later.
It one either the ACL or the Achilles? I thought
I read ACL, but he's done for the season. But regardless, I took that knowing not only was he an older player as the starting guy, and he was kind of not consistent where they weren't completely bought in. Right. This kid, Jonathan Taylor, was a first-round pick, which is the best round that's going to be eventually a starting guy, hopefully, if it works out.
Unless you're Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, or yeah, you want to go there? How about Eric Flowers, Pat?
No.
How about Eli Apple, Pat?
Jamarcus Russell.
No, I know. But I could rattle off. Rattle off 5 Giants that we've picked in the past 10 years that have just not lasted at all. Who's the running back? Look, the running back that Dwayne
for who?
The Giants that broke his neck after the.
Oh, David Wilson.
David Wilson.
All right, you know what?
No, freak incident. I said freak incident.
And he was the 32nd overall pick.
No, and he was pretty good, and then just out of nowhere, just straight up shattered his neck completely. Yeah. He's a track runner now. He's like a metal.
Like 3 vertebrae fused in his neck.
Yeah,
I'm gonna throw a wild card at you guys.
Ooh,
shit.
Saquon Barkley was a terrible pick. You know why? Because this team is in shambles.
No, yeah, you're right.
And you waste a 2nd overall pick on a running back who you're gonna have to either offer up big money or just let him walk. Yeah. And what has he done? Like, you can't do anything as a running back without an offensive line.
No, you're 100% right. I will one part of me say that you're wrong because I'm a Giants fan, and I will say that they have the right things in place to eventually, as soon as they took him, I was worried because I was like, okay, this offensive line doesn't really look like it's going anywhere. It doesn't look like they want to do much, right? I was like, this is a problem. Then he did what he did, and I was like, okay, great. And then, again, kind of like you said, I was like, they did well with getting Hernandez. They did well with getting Andrew Thomas. They drafted guys late that, in my opinion, I'm an Oregon Ducks fan. They took Shane Lemieux, who is an amazing offensive lineman and is raw, but he will learn. And they're ready to do it. It's just that they don't address the right things at times.
I'm sorry, but Lemieux should be getting reps at. He should be getting live game reps at guard.
He will. Yeah, he will because of how bad Nick Gates looked this weekend. But you're 100% right. What I see them doing is they're going to try to get an extension after this year because I think he's got 2 left.
Yep.
So I think going into the offseason, that's going to be number 1. They're not going to give a shit about anybody else. Anyone that wants to walk, see ya. Money's going to him,
hopefully
right?
Golden Tate.
What I think they're going to do is I think they're going to try to front load his contract, give him a bunch of money so they can over time try to get, again, a couple of these offensive linemen and guys because, look, they're going to probably finish in the top 5 this year. Like a picking. Probably. Maybe.
Not.
I hope not either, but there's a good chance they will.
I have something to say, too, though, about especially the performance last night. That defense... That is not a good when you haven't had an off season, when you didn't have preseason games, and you come out going in dry against arguably top 3 defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen.
I completely agree, and I think the Giants' offense. I think they could get it wrong.
I think when Bud Dupree and T.J. Watt aren't flying into the backfield every play, I think you'll see things happen.
Like, people were mad at that pick by T.J. Watt.
No, that's a great play.
You can't be mad at that.
That's
that was an amazing
by an even
play.
Greater player.
Basically, the defensive end, so the guy coming in towards the quarterback to try to sack him, made an incredible play where our quarterback dropped, went to throw a ball, and the defensive end just jumped in the air.
He faked the pass rush and then dropped back into coverage real quick, like a yard or 2 off the line of scrimmage. And Daniel Jones didn't see him, and he threw a ball right in his area, and he just
he threw it like he was trying to get it over where he was, but the guy just was like, nope, just went up, grabbed it, and again, good play. Look, I agree that there's a lot of needs that need to be addressed with that team, and again, I hope that, in my opinion, the way you win is by the draft. You have to live and die by the NFL draft. Like, you have to find these guys in the late rounds that are going to be starters. Have these guys that are going to develop, all that stuff. So, I hope that this year's draft ends up working out for them because they got a lot of good guys that have been like getting plugged in and played, like Darnell Holmes, who was our 3rd or 4th round pick.
Oh, Darnay Holmes?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Darnay Holmes, and he was playing yesterday, starting. And he looked pretty good, actually, compared to some of the other guys. Like, Corey Ballantyne, who is a guy that we got from, like, Creighton or something. I don't know where, but, and he's starting, and he was getting burned all night. But regardless, here's to hoping that our teams continue success and figure it out because, again, I don't want the Eagles to win another Super Bowl, but if they win it over the Cowboys, I'd probably be okay with that.
I'd rather the football team of the great capital of Washington,
no, because
D.C.
that's just a big
win over that.
No, because at the end of the day, if they win another Super Bowl, it's going to be at least dulled down because we don't have to hear that they won their first one in ever.
Nah, we'll still hear it.
No, we will, but imagine the Cowboys winning. No, but you're not understanding me. The Cowboys haven't won since 95, so we all have a leg up on any Cowboys fan that wants to come at us. Like, they can talk about the success lately, but guess what? It doesn't mean anything.
I wasn't even born yet.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is we can't sit here and be like, no, we don't want you to win, or vice versa. Like, win the division, we'll come up and play the wild card, and everything will be peachy. Like, it'll be fine. But let's get into the main topic. The meat and potatoes of the pod. We're gonna do the top 5 NFL players of all time. Normally, how I and Frankie and myself like to do this is we'll offer up a honorable mentions. Normally, I have a disgusting amount of honorable mentions.
Especially in something like this, there's probably way too
Oh,
many.
I mean, well, that's the thing. I was writing my list. I was like, shit, man. Like, there's a lot of meat and potatoes to like write about. So I'll start off with you guys. Do you guys have anyone that didn't make your top 5, but definitely is someone that like, you're gonna like talk about? I'll tell you mine off the bat too. I have Plax as someone that's a sleeper. He would have been an all-time this is not me saying he's in my top 10. I'm just saying as someone that I wish could have actually lasted kind of a thing. No. So you'll understand as I go into my next one. So Plax is my number 1 in that position. You could almost even say like a Barry Sanders, but Barry Sanders' career was actually amazing for, what he was there for. The other person is Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson's like my favorite athlete of all time. Mm-hmm. I don't say them having immediate parallels, but you can kind of see that, like, okay, like imagine like Plax didn't do what he did. Like, that guy was in perfect shape when it happened. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, he was in a great position. Same thing with Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson was in the best shape of his life. No one thought that man could be
Bo Jackson ate children in high school.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a physical specimen. He played 2 sports. And it just got ruined by an injury.
Wait.
Professional sports,
I'm pretty
though.
sure,
Not just like, oh.
And he was good at that.
Wait. There was I don't know if it was a 30 for 30 or something.
It's
NFL
the Bo
did.
Jackson one.
Yeah,
amazing.
And they were talking, and I don't know if it was his coach from high school or whatever. They were interviewing him. No. It was still in high school.
Okay.
And he was saying that one of the scouts came over from college and was like looking at the team, not even there for Bo. And they asked the coach, like, who is that grown ass man
playing football,
with pads on? And the coach looks at him and goes, "Oh, that's just Bo."
Yep.
That's Bo.
And the even crazier thing about the Bo Jackson story, if you haven't watched it, I definitely recommend it. I mean, it's amazing. Like the guy is truly an inspiration of just like how crazy this man was athletically. He could have went to Bama. Like Alabama during Bear Bryant, like the greatest time in Alabama history, minus now the Nick Saban era, like he wanted him to play. But then when Bo was like, great, like when am I going to play? He's like, you'll get your chance probably around like, maybe end of sophomore year, probably closer to junior year, and then, probably be a starter by senior.
But Bo knew.
And Bo Jackson was like, no, absolutely
Bo
not.
knew.
So went to
Bo
Auburn.
Says no.
Yes, Bo no. So Bo Jackson went to Auburn and then ended up like Auburn and Alabama are rivals.
Who was the starting running back at that time for Alabama?
Not a clue. Could not.
Yeah.
I don't look at Alabama as like a whole collective of one individual player. I know them as just like a
starting
bunch of
over
good
Bo
players.
Jackson.
At Alabama.
What
right?
year would you say that is? 80 something, 83?
I would say 83, 80.
I'm gonna look.
Just look up Bo Jackson. Yeah.
Whoever it is, that's his greatest story.
Yeah.
He didn't come to Alabama because of me.
Well, you know what? The Boz, his best story is that he got macked by Bo Jackson. Remember? Because do you remember that or no?
Yeah.
So the story goes that Bo Jackson was this monster of a man, and the Boz was this guy coming out of Oklahoma. His name was Brian Bosworth. He was this crazy big linebacker, had this faux hawk with a mullet, just a psychopath.
Right.
And he got drafted to the Seahawks, and
like that
the Seahawks were playing the Raiders, and it was this big. Everyone was anticipating it because it was the Boz versus Bo. Who was gonna stop it? Brian Bosworth was like, "I'm gonna just run all over this man. Like he's not even gonna be able to run." And I think it was like maybe the first play they met each other in like the free plane, and Bo Jackson ran him over, and basically, I'm not even kidding, ended his career in that hit. Because after that, Brian Bosworth was not a good linebacker.
He was on the Seahawks, right?
He was on the Seahawks at that point. He was not a good linebacker. After that, he was a mediocre, could get tackles, but that was it. Couldn't cover. He basically ended his career in one hit. So crazy story to that. But I put them on my list just because those are guys that I'm like, oh man, what if? Plax could you could make a case for the Hall of Fame kind of a thing. Might take him a while because there's definitely going to be plaques.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at stats. I'm looking for stats.
Bo Jackson's not in the Hall of Fame.
No,
right?
and he doesn't.
He didn't play long enough.
No,
he doesn't deserve to be.
No, I mean exactly.
Not that he was a bad player.
No. I agree. But the problem with the NFL Hall of Fame is that it's like a fraternity. It is a fraternity that is it's not impossible to get into. But who was the guy this year? Did you see that's been trying to get in for 16 years and just missed his. It was a guy that played in the 70s or something. I'm not sure who it was, but he basically played in the 70s. He was a great player. He's a Hall of Fame caliber guy, but of course, every year what happens is you get your all-stars and you get your big names that get inducted. And I think you have a window of 15 years that you have to get in and get nominated, and then after that you can't be inducted or something. I might be wrong. Regardless of what it was, I just remember him not getting in.
I think it depends on what era you played in. I think if you played before the merger, they give you special.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah,
because, a player from the 40s that won 4 championships with the Giants before there was a Super Bowl. Yes. All right, yeah, maybe he deserves to be in.
No, I mean, exactly. But regardless, basically what happened is I think the guy, basically came down to it where it, was year after year after year that he kept, getting, passed on. And I think last year, it was actually really sad. I felt bad for the guy because he, was crying. His whole family's waiting there. They finally thought they were going to get the announcement and he didn't get it. I'm like...
Psych.
Shit. I feel really bad for this dude.
And you know what the thing is, too, for, a player like that, and then, I mean... he's probably the greatest of all time to do it, but a guy like Ray Guy, Getson, who punted. Like, all right.
The best punter ever probably will not.
Which I mean, listen, Ray Guy deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Don't get me wrong, but
we'll not Gostkowski, because Gostkowski will probably
Hall of Famer,
right?
Especially after last night.
Last night,
no, he's Hall of Famer.
But
Vinatieri's a Hall of Famer.
No. Who's the guy on the Raiders forever?
Seabass?
Janikowski, 100% locked in, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great.
Polish thickness?
Yeah. All right, so do you guys have any? Because I'll go back to my last two after, but these are guys that just missed it for me. But
the only guy I could think of off the top of my head is someone who falls into that category of if they would have played longer.
Yeah.
And that's Calvin Johnson for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, if he had better quarterback play and played for longer, just didn't want to.
That's a good one.
He just didn't want to get injured, so he retired.
Yeah.
He was so dominant.
Oh,
I mean, just out physically.
He holds the league record for most receiving yards in a season with like 1,900 and something.
Yeah, I remember. I was in Orlando when he caught that game.
Mm-hmm. And like getting doubled every single play.
Every play, and it didn't matter. Yeah.
They showed an infographic on on Sunday Night Football or whatever. No, it was. I remember watching this with my uncle on Thanksgiving in my grandparents' basement, and they were showing Calvin Johnson and his physical prowess. And, like, they put him in front of a 2-car garage, like, graphic. And they said, his catch window is literally the size of a 2-car garage.
Oh, my God.
You stand him in front of a 2-car garage, and he can jump all the way, almost 10 feet that way, and get the ball. And then go this way 10 feet and get the ball. It really put into perspective how freak of an athlete he was.
No, I mean, dude,
that
man is definitely just, like, one of those, like, oh my God stories. I wouldn't say someone that was out earlier, but I would also say Larry Fitzgerald is someone that fits in that category. You don't think he'll be a Hall of Famer?
No, I think he's probably just behind Rice, best receiver ever to play.
So yeah, but he's gonna get in the Hall of Fame. Like,
No,
that's what I was saying. That's why you kind of shook me right there. I'm like, he's
ass.
No, but I mean, did you watch what he did this weekend? How he won them the game?
Just a high IQ player. Probably great to have around,
dude.
It doesn't drop balls at all.
No, and I mean, when have you ever seen him with like a bad attitude? Sometimes he'll be like, oh, like whatever.
I'm sure there's been reason to have a bad attitude on that team.
I mean, look at that. They've been to one Super Bowl and lost it, and then besides that, they've like made the playoffs a couple times, like, and he's been there the whole time, and.
They got income tax in Arizona.
Yeah, but definitely not.
Because not for nothing, why else would you stay there?
Yeah, he had
like
no
staying in Miami.
To stay there, and he's like probably the biggest Arizona fan favorite now.
Yeah,
I think he's the best Arizona player to ever play, besides maybe Aeneas Williams.
I mean, I don't know who that is, but yeah,
you don't know who Aeneas is? That his name, Aeneas Williams, the cornerback?
Safety.
Me. I was just
laughing because you said it, and then Mike's face was like. Yup.
You call yourself a fan?
Aeneas Williams, like,
no idea who this guy is.
Did he
but
play
I'm sure
because he didn't get drafted in the war of like?
I'll take Pat's word for it.
No, I'm messing with you, but no, Larry Fitz is a guy that regardless, I feel like if you are a player or a fan of a team that's in the Cardinals division, I feel like you even at that point still have to be like, I can't hate this guy. Kind of similar to me, Jason Witten. I always respected Jason Witten because I'm like, dude, this guy just comes in, he works hard, and he knows how to torch the Giants twice a year, and that's all of his point. Yeah, but you know what? I don't
like to scratch off scabs. All right.
No, I don't either. I mean, I rip them right off, and I just let them bleed. But Jason Witten was one of those guys that like I was just. I need the nurse. But regardless, those were like two of my guys. The only other guy is like, I mean, you could say Ray Lewis is up there. A lot of people say he's like a
first ballot.
Yeah,
first year eligible. He's there. He's first ballot.
He killed 2 people, but yes.
Allegedly.
If the glove fits, am I right? I mean, Big Ben did too, but like we won't, so did Linda Bush. Or was it Laura Bush?
I don't know. I may have killed somebody. Who knows?
No, watch that family. Watch that Family Guy thing. They're like, Laura Bush killed a guy. And then T.O. was on there for me as well.
He's a Hall of Famer, isn't he?
He is
a Hall of Famer.
Isn't he?
T.O.'s a Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah, he just got inducted,
in
right?
last year,
2 years ago.
Or was it 2 years ago?
That makes sense.
Regardless, these aren't guys. I wish my top 5 could be top 100 because
there's too
we'd
many
be here all night.
Yeah.
But I was never a big T.O. fan for the antics. But at the end of the day, you have to put the antics to the side and say this guy was above it when it came to football, and that's exactly what it was. The guy.
I completely disagree. I love how he was a showman. I mean, especially on the Eagles.
Yeah, he was on your
team.
Yeah.
We didn't see that coming.
and going onto the Cowboy Star and just like stomping on it and causing fights.
I love that
too.
I think he definitely profited the NFL more than they realized.
Yeah, he and Ocho Cinco together at the same time in the league.
Oh yeah, they got celebrations banned for a little bit.
Literally, that was funny.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of wide receivers, I just want to drop 2 names as well that are like kind of
Steve
outliers.
Smith, Eagles. Steve Smith.
No. You mean Giant Steve Smith?
No, I mean Eagles. Steve Smith.
Oh yeah,
he went to the Eagles afterwards.
You're right. Two wide receivers, Anquan Bolden, and what was the other one?
A guy.
Yeah, he's a guy. He played the position of wide receiver.
So Anquan Bolden, I will say, is going to go down as a great wide receiver. It's a hard case to make a Hall of Fame for him, but at the same time you can, because I think if I'm not mistaken he's won Walter Payton Man of the Year I think once or twice, which doesn't get you Hall of Fame, but it definitely probably helps to show that you're an
Was he on the Ravens when they won the Super Bowl over the 49ers?
Yeah.
Does he have a ring?
I'm not sure.
He had to have been, because who else was Joe Flacco throwing the ball to besides Torrey Smith?
No, dude, I'm almost positive he was on that team.
Wow, Torrey Smith, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. Oh, but the other person I wanted to mention is Andre Johnson. And Arian Foster, for that matter, since we're talking about Texans.
He was on that Super Bowl team.
Arian Foster's this big hippie now.
Is he really?
You know that? Yeah.
Really?
Super
That's
loves
awesome.
meditation. And
like Ricky Williams?
Good for him.
Kind of like a Ricky Williams story.
Good for them. Listen, it's all good.
Guy was always hurt, though. Arian Foster.
Yeah, I think in my opinion, I picked him that year I was just telling you guys about with Peyton Manning. I picked him to be on my fantasy team.
I love Pat's team so much. That fantasy
3 fucking players from the Broncos. That's it.
That's 3 too many.
From a historic offense.
You had the quarterback,
Dude,
the running back,
like
the wide receiver, and the tight end.
Wait,
that's 4.
That's like me picking. Fuck off. No. If it was Tom Brady, wait, time out. If it was Tom Brady, Gronkowski, and Wes Welker all on my fantasy team,
I would have never done that,
bro. What?
You just don't do that because there's only so much ball to go around. So you want to pick people like it's okay pairing a quarterback with a wide receiver. But if you have the quarterback, the running back...
But when your quarterback is throwing 5 touchdowns a game to said players, and each player is at least getting a touchdown...
Think about it.
And 50 yards?
How likely is it for 4 offensive weapons to have a good game? 4.
All in the same night.
On that year with the Broncos, all of them had good games pretty much every game.
I would love statistically to look and see...
Pull it up, because my phone's about to die.
No, my phone's about to die too.
Mike.
But what I'm saying is I would love to break it down each week and see if that would have
Does anybody remember what year that is? Is that
2014? It was probably 14, I think.
2014 Broncos.
Look, I get your point. I 100% agree with it. Like I understand where you're coming from, but like Mike is saying, it's like you can't just solely base your team on that because the Broncos didn't go undefeated that year, did they?
They got to the Super Bowl.
No, but that's not my point. My point is they didn't go undefeated, meaning they lost games, meaning they didn't perform most likely a few times.
We got our statistician here pulling up.
All right,
pull out the 2014.
While Frankie's looking, we're gonna do a little bit of a taste test here.
Was Peyton Manning on the team?
What am I looking at?
Mike, I'm gonna get you ready for the taste test while they're looking. Doing a little review here of Pacific Coolers.
wait, where'd you get a Dr.
I brought the Dr. Pepper with me. And we're going to do Dr. Peppers after because me and Frankie have been praising this Dr. Pepper craze of the cream soda.
That's not it, though.
So we'll eventually get there.
Maybe in 2015.
Alright, I'm going to try my best not to stab this through the Capri Sun.
Frank, is your Capri Sun?
I feel like now that we're adults, it's going to be like way too hard.
It's like, did you know, like Trix? You know how Trix are for kids? And they were all like shaped different things. Tricks, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They're circles now.
They are. Are they really?
Yeah, they've been circles for
They're
years.
circles. Yeah, what, since we turned 18? Huh. Funny how they marketed it as tricks are only for kids. The second you turn 18, they turn to fucking circles.
All right, Joe Rogan. That's freaking out, man.
Wow, this just hit me with some nostalgia.
You just look over Mike's like this. Having a nostalgia trip.
Now imagine you're 17. Midnight is your 18th birthday. You're sitting there in front of a bowl of tricks.
Mike, it's gonna be my last time.
Literally.
God damn.
Literally, the ball drops on your birthday. Midnight strikes. You blink.
Ball drops on my birthday.
No,
so your birthday is also on September onto December.
I meant that figuratively. Midnight strikes. You blink. You look down at your cereal, and it's no longer Fruity Shapes.
That's disappointing.
Right?
Very disappointing.
Sad.
That could be a movie.
Yeah, you know what that reminds me of?
Pacific Cooler, ladies and gentlemen.
You see that South Park episode when Randy starts listening to like the kids' music, and it's just like fart noises the entire time because like every adult just hears fart noises, and like the kids are like listening to like dubstep.
Is that the Lord thing? Isn't that when he becomes Lord or something like that?
Oh, I don't know if that's the same one.
Is that not? I thought it was the same because I thought it was like Lord, 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 I am Lord,
Yeah.
and no one heard it as that. But then when he sang it, it was like the kids got it or whatever.
I need to say something about Pacific Cooler Capri Sun.
By all means, Patrick.
It needs vodka.
Well, sadly enough, during the review, we do not have any of that. Just pour it in your Blue Moon, why don't you?
I brought the Blue Moons for you guys.
I don't drink, Pat.
Oh, I have a Blue Moon. Fuck it. But these Pacific Coolers are pretty excellent.
Frankie.
I haven't had them in a very long time. So
Review
this is
it.
refreshing. I'll give this a 8.7.
8.7.
Yeah.
Patrick.
I'm partial. I'm going to go 6.2.
Ooh,
Jeez.
okay.
Were you
This
not
is
just
very
like
good,
raving?
Pat.
I think you just raised your hand to tell us how great it was.
I said
You
it
hit with a
vodka.
6.2.
No, what's
Give it it's okay.
what's the other? No, wait. What's the other one that was really good?
I would review it the circle tricks, not the ones that look like the fruit.
Well, I'm gonna pretend you asked me, and I'm gonna
I was
say.
getting your way. I'm too busy yelling at Pat.
Hold on, this is
Look
an
at
ASMR.
him.
Hold on.
ASMR. Who wants to buy?
It's not quite as good when it's.
Who
out
wants
of
to
a
buy
pouch.
pictures of Pat drinking Capri Sun on OnlyFans? Capri
Listen,
Sun Pat.
Listen, there's an audience for everything.
Exactly. All right, Mike, give me your review.
I'm gonna go 9.3.
I love it.
Yeah,
Simp.
adding points, simp. I'm a simp for the Capri Sun. Okay, yeah, I'll give
No,
that to you. I'm a simp for the
respect
nostalgia. I'm a simp for the putting it together and not screwing up the straw.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, I will say there's nothing more devastating, almost probably in the world, that if you hit that and it goes out the back, it's just you hear Sarah McLachlan start playing right.
I'll be
in the
honest
back.
with you.
In the
If that happens to you, drinking a Capri Sun, you probably need to go back to the 3rd grade.
Yeah. That's like 3rd grade training right there.
Yeah.
Can I just ask
You don't
why
wanna do
Pat?
that.
Why is Pat being such a bully tonight? Pat is full guns ablazing on the
Let me stop
Capri
you right
Sun.
there. I hate Capri Sun.
These beers are pretty strong. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little
Pat's
hot.
like, first
I'm getting a little
off,
hot
fuck
about
Capri
it.
Sun.
Yeah,
Sunny D in this bitch.
Listen,
Like,
I'm a little upset because I'm
he's
the
like,
only one
I did not have
drinking.
good childhood memories, therefore I hate Capri Sun.
all right, so I'm gonna stick close to Mike's score. I'm gonna give it a 9.1. I think it's great. I mean, like, I think we definitely didn't appreciate it enough back then, and like now, if you have one, you're like, yo, this is fucking awesome. Like, you'll kill it in a second. Like, you'll destroy
Yeah, you gotta
it
be
'cause
careful.
Mine's
There's
already
nothing
gone.
in. Well, there's nothing in here. Like,
These are like the main flavored ones, right?
No, what was the other one? Not Pacific Cooler.
Like fruit punch?
there's a
Fruit Punch is delicious, but no,
There's
there's
fruit punch. There's orange. There's Pacific Cooler, and
He
there's
keeps saying
something.
orange.
There isn't.
Well, when was there an orange? I mean, there probably is, but. it's
And
gotta
I'm
be
sorry,
like one
but
of the
if you,
worst
I'm
ones.
sorry, Luke. I don't mean to rain on your
I don't
parade.
want to.
Luke,
don't want to.
listen,
Oh my God, the
listen, man.
slander.
I'm telling you this because out of everybody in this room, I've known you the longest. Orange flavored things, unless it's orange juice, is complete ass.
Coastal Cooler.
And strawberry kiwi was actually
Is that it?
amazing
That's
too.
it.
my favorite.
What does it look like?
All right, ready? I have all the list.
I mean-
Coastal Cooler, Fruit Punch, Grape, Lemonade, Mountain Cooler, Strawberry, Splash
Mountain
Cooler,
Cooler.
Red Berry, Pacific Cooler, Orange, Strawberry Kiwi, which was amazing.
Yes, it was.
Surf Cooler or Surfer Cooler,
Surfer Cooler was the good one.
Tropical Punch, and Wild Cherry.
Wild Cherry was ass.
I went on record in saying Orange was my favorite. I will die on that hill.
Yes, you will. You will die alone.
I think you'll die alone.
I will die alone on that hill.
Like
and
orange Gatorade? Who the hell drinks orange Gatorade?
Yeah, no, I don't.
What are we in the 70s?
Well, you know Anthony, right?
What the fuck does that mean?
So,
why are you guys
Anthony,
so tough on orange?
Anthony, his favorite everything is just the color orange. And it doesn't matter like what it is, like Gatorade, oranges, like anything the color orange will be his
orange
favorite.
Starburst.
He has orange everything.
His favorite things are oranges, clementines,
grapefruits.
Grapefruits are orange?
Are they? I don't know. I've never actually seen a whole grapefruit.
Really?
I feel like I haven't.
Breaking. This just in.
The only thing I know about grapefruit is you can't take certain medications while eating grapefruit. That's all I got.
What?
That probably works with everything, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Top 5.
Moving on.
Top 5 NFL
Tom Brady.
What we'll do is we'll go around. You'll do 2. Pat does 2. I'll do 2, and then we'll do snake draft. So I'll do my 2, and then we'll just go our last ones. We'll kind of do it like that. You're gonna do.
Got it.
I don't have a list, so I'm just gonna.
That's fine. You're just doing top 5. So
I wrote a little something.
I always have 5 to 1, and then just kind of do it that way. So
I know my 5. Definitely.
I think a lot of ours though is gonna overlap.
Oh yeah.
probably.
If it's of all time,
Probably.
Who's going first?
Mike's going first.
Well, fucking.
all right. Well, I guess I'll take one that I'm sure both you have, and that's Jerry Rice.
At what? What number? We're starting at 5.
Are you 5?
No, we're starting at 5.
We're starting at the worst one.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to save the best for last.
Well, now you guys know I'm gonna pick Jerry Rice.
Eventually.
Cut the podcast.
It's over. It's over.
Okay, in no official order, I'm gonna start off with Jerry Rice because he has pretty much every single receiving record. He has the most receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, receptions, and he has I think 3 Super Bowls, an MVP. And he played for 20.
Does he have 4?
He has 4?
Yeah, doesn't Joe Montana have 4 rings?
Were they together for all
and
of
Steve
them?
and Steve Young? Steve Montana.
Steve Montana.
Joe Montana and Steve Young. How many
Joe
rings have
Young,
they won altogether?
Joe Young and
5?
Steve Montana.
But he played until he was 40 years old.
On the Seahawks.
Or I think maybe a little past. He played for 20 seasons.
He played a long time.
When he was, because the Raiders are my second favorite team. When he was 40 years old.
Black hole, baby.
He was 40 years old. He caught over, I think, 1,200 yards, and he led them to that Super Bowl. And I think, at 40 years old, you could do that as a receiver. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
I know another receiver that did something like that, too. An older guy.
An older guy?
No, he was probably around that same. I don't know if he was 40. He was probably close to it. But all right, so that's your number. Give me another one.
Another one I
Just
got?
save your number 1. How about that?
Save my number 1.
Or just because you're not going in any particular order. So whoever you think might be your number 1.
What?
All right. I'll do one.
Yeah, I brought them for everybody. Those are twist-offs.
Oh, cool.
Got you, dog.
I'll do one that is exclusive from Mark Codispoti. I told him I was coming on the podcast, saying the
Shout out.
greatest NFL players of all time.
No free ads.
The first guy he said was Jim Brown. So this guy is someone who I think you'll probably see black and white highlights of him.
Yeah.
Literally.
But they said he was built like a defensive lineman, and he was the fastest player of that time. I think he played for only 9 seasons.
It was 9 or 11. It was something like it was not a long time.
Yeah, someone else who cut his career short, but he's in the Hall of Fame. He was so dominant. He averaged, I think, over 5 yards a carry,
which is absurd.
Yeah, I mean, you can literally give it to him every single time.
Yeah, and he's gonna get 5 yards.
Yeah,
almost guaranteed.
And he's the only running back to average over 100 yards a game.
Mm-hmm.
Unreal.
Which is it's unreal.
He's on my list. He's also there. I mean, I won't go into. You'll basically have said it all. I just think he's an amazing person too. I mean, if you look, I mean, he's been the head of social justice changes all of his life. I mean, that man is, how old is he now? Probably 80.
He stood hand in hand with Muhammad Ali.
But that's what I'm saying. So again, I mean, he's been in the front of this issue before, and I think he's an amazing role model for a lot of these players now because he was, to my knowledge, from when he played, he was never flashy. He was a guy that came in, he did his job, he worked his ass off, and that was how that was, and that was his life. So I think a lot of people could take that, and that's not me saying don't flaunt it, don't do this, because you're the player you are, and that's how life works now. But it's like, look at what this man did with what he did during that time. It's amazing. It's almost hard to believe. Like you said, he was built like a defensive end. Like, I mean, he went to Syracuse, which back then I think was like a good football school to go to.
Yeah, they also called him.
It was one of the best universities in the country. At one
was.
point.
And he was
and it still is. It still is.
No, it's a great university. Not football-wise.
No.
Even though, like, I don't know if Syracuse was good at the time, but he was named ESPN's greatest college athlete of all time. Or college football player.
Which is amazing.
Not Tebow. I think Tebow's the best football player at a college of all time.
Well,
listen, we'll get about 20 more episodes and we'll do a college football one. I'd very much... I'm a little bit of a Tebow hater when it comes to that, but I definitely support that team was unreal. Like, they were good.
Aaron Hernandez.
They were, oh God. All right, Pat, we'll go to you. 5 and 4.
Oh, all right. I'll start off by saying I just thought of a good one that I think is a fringe top 5 of all time. And laugh all you want. He has the resume. O.J. Simpson.
Oh my God. As top 5.
No. I'm saying one of those fringe guys. That you could argue.
We're on top 5.
I'm sorry.
We had this conversation 30 minutes ago.
I know, but it just
Wait a second. Let's go back. OJ, am I right?
Some editing to do, Frankie.
Speaking of orange things. No, I think my number 5 is Barry Sanders. I think the only reason why he's not higher is because his career was so short.
No, yeah.
And his career died in friggin' Detroit, like most everybody else.
You know what's sad too about that? Kind of going back, Calvin. Well, not that his career definitely died there.
You could their careers mirror each other so much.
And sadly enough, you could argue and say there's not as much success, but I would even almost say Stafford, man. Imagine you put Stafford in a little bit better of a situation. Dude, he's a good player. Like, he just doesn't have a team. No,
he's a little bit wild when he throws sometimes. The dude could throw 70 yards from his knees. But there's no doubt about it.
But that's what I'm saying. Imagine he had 30 seconds like a good wide receiver to catch the ball throwing it 70 yards. Like, you're talking about he had Calvin forever, which is awesome, but he had no offensive line. The running game was very subpar. The defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. So, like, it's great that they invested all this money.
Nosebleeds are hard to stop sometimes. Okay.
Thank you, doctor. But no, just... He missed the top 5 just barely because I love him.
Barry.
I think he's an amazing player. The man ran like an absolute freak. Just how he just embarrassed these guys in the field, made them look silly, and then was like, all right, let's get back in the huddle, and just would do it again. Like, it was like personal gain for him to be like, you're going to look like an absolute idiot when you're running against me. But no, that's a great 5 pick.
I think, and my number 4 might be a little controversial. Some people's lists, he might not even be top 10. Some people would be top 3, depending on how you're categorizing it. Peyton Manning. I think Peyton Manning, in my opinion, is one of the greatest players of all time. I say only because he's considered one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, but he won 2 Super Bowls, right? Yeah, he won 2.
Franklin.
Talk about something that needs vodka. Sorry.
I promised Frank that I would bring him a.
Peyton Manning. His first Super Bowl, you could argue, wasn't the most spectacular. It was a rainy game in 2006, which arguably, honestly, against the Bears defense in 2006,
it was a good Bears.
I'm surprised.
Team
I'm surprised they won that game because who was their running back at that time?
The Bears?
No, the Broncos. In 2006.
No.
Colts, sorry. Yes, Colts.
I was like, wait a second. I was like, we're going way.
Yeah. Joseph Adai was.
No, who was their wide receiver?
Reggie
Colts.
Wayne.
Reggie Wayne. No.
Marvin
Who was their other? Marvin Harrison. Who was
Austin
their running
Collie.
back?
No, Austin Collie.
Joseph Adai.
Not in 2006. You know who was on that team in 2006? Wait.
Tell me.
Wait. He might have retired by then, but I'm not sure. Because he's old. He was older. He played in the 80s. Marcus Allen. Was he on the team when Peyton was there? He was on the team when Peyton was there. I don't know if he was on them in 06, though.
Marcus Allen in 06?
I don't think Marcus Allen was still playing in 06.
When did Marcus Allen retire from the NFL? Let's see. Oh, Siri doesn't work. Because my phone's so dead. Okay.
But anyway, my reasoning for putting Peyton there is because he's done it all. You know, he's won the big game, he's won the small game, he's won a lot of small games. You know, his regular season stats
conspiracy theory
are probably better than. I mean, I don't know the numbers, but I think they're better than Tom Brady's in the regular season. As far as yards,
Marcus Allen.
Yeah, Marcus Allen.
1997. Retired after the 1997 season. Is this the same Marcus Allen?
Is he in a Colts jersey?
Really? That long
ago? Is it this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Peyton wasn't drafted until... All right, maybe not then. All right.
Peyton
Everything I just said about Marcus Allen, forget.
I don't know. But anyway, Peyton Manning, I think he's a quarterback that we're all going to tell our kids about growing up. And he's just a phenomenal guy. Like, everyone knows him for the Omaha. But he knew his IQ was off the charts.
I mean, look at his forehead. He's got a lot of brain in there.
Exactly. But yeah, his IQ is off the charts and just a great quarterback in general.
Great human being.
Personally, though, does not make my top 10.
And that's fine. Like I just said, some people he might not even crack your top 10. Some people would be your top 3.
And I think I only say it because, like, you know, he's another one of those guys that he's kind of like... I guess you could make the comparison to like a Marino, where they can make all the regular season accolades, and then like again, Peyton won in the playoffs, which is great. But how many times did he lose in the playoffs?
Unfortunately, he played in the same conference as Tom Brady.
No, exactly. So it's gonna beat you. Like you're gonna lose to Brady a lot. But
he makes great commercials.
Oh, Peyton! No, Peyton.
He's terrific on SNL too.
Listen,
he is great on it.
The Mannings are the Mannings are a very funny.
Don't try to throw Eli into there.
You know Eli
is so funny.
You stop your nonsense.
Peyton is 100 times.
Listen, Philadelphia isn't funny.
No, Eli's funny for the memes.
But no, that's okay.
He's funny with his dirt face.
Fine. That's fine.
Was it Eli or was it Peyton that did the dodgeball commercial?
Eli.
That was Eli. Do you remember that or no?
Yeah, no, that was Eli.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know
or was it football where he's just throwing it at the back of their heads? Wasn't that Eli, right?
No, I'm sorry. That was Peyton in an SNL skit.
Yeah.
I thought Eli did something similar. I forgot what it was, but...
You know what I'll give Eli? I'll give him in the Odell commercial.
Oh, my God.
That was terrific.
Where they're dancing and he just like
dancing,
tosses
Dirty
him up.
Dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dude, so good. I mean, wow, rest in pieces.
That's something I want to talk about before we're done, but let's continue.
Odell?
Odell, yeah. I want to talk about that later.
Rest in pieces.
Before we're done. Get
it? If you know what I mean. Too. All right, 5 and 4 for me. My number 5 is Walter Payton. Oh my God. My number 5 is
sorry, say that a little louder, Mike.
Shit!
He likes to get pooped on.
My number 5 is Walter Payton. I mean,
That's
dude, the man was an absolute monster at the running back position. Literally, like, guys model their running styles and their game after this man, and this man literally, like, he took that next step of what the running back was from the evolution of the position. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, like, you'll look at it statistically, Jim Brown, then passed it on to, I guess you could say probably OJ, because it was probably Jim Brown, and then, I mean, like, who can you name? There's probably someone that was in between it. I can't name off the top of my head. Then OJ. Then it was, I don't want to. No.
Marcus Allen.
Because Marcus Allen is a great running back, but he's not you're not going to say Marcus Allen in the category with, like, you're going to say Marcus Allen in the category with Jim Brown, Walter Payton, like those guys. Close. I'm not going to put him, if the Mount Rushmore is there, he's going to be as a next contender.
If there's a top 5, if you're putting a Mount Rushmore together of 4 of the greatest running backs of all time, I think he's number 5. I think he's the one that you build the rest of the mountain.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, I mean, like, again, off the top of my head, I can't say the 4. Oh my God, who's the bald guy with the glasses that literally...
Oh, Eric Dickerson.
Yeah, thank you. So Eric Dickerson was prior.
He was a beast.
That's what I'm saying. So Eric Dickerson, Walter Payton, Jim Brown, Marshall Falk, Like, I mean, these men...
Well, Falk was later.
Falk was later, but it was still good. But regardless, I mean, these guys just knew how to run the ball, man. I mean, these guys were just animals. My 4 is Jim Brown. Said most of it. I mean, the man was an amazing athlete in the time period that he was. I think he really did amazing things for football to, like, evolve the game. Like, you don't think about it, but he really did tremendous things to make the game the way it is now and actually have African-American athletes to the status that they are in the game. I mean, he basically helped pave the way with it.
He wasn't the first, but he might have been.
No, he was not the first, but he was definitely, I mean, he was one of the guys to put it in the spotlight the way he did. My number 3, TD Tom, Tampa Bay Tom. Tom Brady is Tampa Bay Tom. Brady's my number 3. I am one of few Giants fans that has no problem with the Patriots, and obviously as a Giants fan beating them in 2 Super Bowls, you can say that, but a part of me says it because, number 1, Belichick was the head coach for us in the 86 Super Bowl, so he helped us get there and win it, our defense. Number 2, I mean, Brady's the best. It's pretty hands down. I mean, like, the guy is just an absolute animal when it comes down to it.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Are we allowed to go out of order?
No, yeah, you good.
All right, because he's my number 1.
Okay.
I think he's the greatest football player of all time. And
again,
as a Giants fan,
I think so too. Him and Jerry Rice, I feel like you could just interchange them. But Tom Brady, I think he's been in 9 Super Bowls and he won 6.
Yeah,
like no one's ever won 6 Super Bowls before.
No. I mean, it's.
I mean, look at the Bills. They went to 4 straight and lost every single
all
one of them.
Yeah. It really depends on the perspective that you go with it, because that's the great thing about it is the NFL is not. I mean, that's. Analytically, you can look at it one way. You can look at it one way just by your heart, and a lot of people will say, Joe Montana. A lot of people will say Terry Bradshaw for all they care, like the old school Steelers fans. Like, people, you can come out of any perspective and say these people, just like you can say Wilt in the past with NBA, just like you can say, all these different, like Kareem. Like, it's a conversation that could be had about anyone, which is great.
I have a random tangent question. Quick answer.
Yeah.
Joe Namath. Where do you put him in the top 100?
I mean, high.
Yeah.
Top 50 easily. I mean,
why?
Exactly.
You don't even know why.
Well, I mean,
I don't mean to sound like
Would you like to tell us, Pat?
No, don't get me wrong. All-time great. Did a lot for the Jets organization. His career stats. I mean, he's like Eli Manning. Okay, yeah, he had some good years. He had some very good years. Had a nice Super Bowl run, but
their careers will be defined by certain things, which is the only thing that, in my opinion, they need.
Namath, thank you. Joe Namath wore freaking pantyhose in the cold. All right, cool.
Yeah, but he also won a Super
Bowl. A lot of people
for
at that
Jets.
time wore pantyhose, but it wasn't.
Oh my God.
Stop
he won a Super Bowl for the Jets, which was pretty big back then. It was Super Bowl 3. So, like, I mean, anyone that won a Super Bowl and was a good player back then, I mean, he literally was the Pat Mahomes of that generation, of the swagger. Like, I mean, that man was pulling up in a fur coat.
Yeah, he was New York.
But that's what I'm saying. He transcended how you were the quarterback. Like, everyone looked at you as like, oh, you're the quarterback.
Yeah.
Now he was pulling up the clubs. He was getting out of the car with 5 Playboy.
You think Bart Starr and Len Dawson were sitting there like, shit.
Which, again,
I want to be like that.
No, and you can make the case where you can say it's like, oh, was that better or worse for football? I mean, it is what it is, but that's part of what football was, and that's how.
I think he gets credit. I think in my head he gets credit for being the first prima donna of the NFL.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know what you're saying. Like, is he in the Hall of Fame yet?
Yeah.
So.
He was like a first ballot.
Him and Eli are going to be at the bottom tier of of quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame.
But I'm fine with that. Eli is a Hall of Famer because of.
I'll take Eli over most.
But again, look, you're not going to look at Eli Manning and say like that man's in the Hall of Fame because of his record I mean, he had the most consecutive starts up until obviously he was benched, which was like the
stop. We're not going to talk about it.
No, I know, but that was kind of, in all honesty, if you look back, that was the turning point of the Giants organization, where recently things have been kind of in shambles from when that all happened.
Oh yeah.
But in general, I mean, you can hate him for being a mediocre quarterback because, you know what, that if you look statistically, he's a mediocre quarterback. But at the end of the day, as a Giants fan and as a fan, you are going to look at those 2 Super Bowls and just have to say, I mean, this man beat Brady at his high. Like, I'm not saying the Eagles didn't do it at his high. You can make the case that it was kind of on his downswing. Not that it was... I'm not saying... Listen to me.
Luke, stop it.
Just hear me out. I'm not saying it was on the downswing. He was plateauing. But the Giants beat him when they were going for a perfect season. And then the Giants beat him in another high season where that man was unstoppable.
That Patriots offense.
That Patriots offense in 2011, right? Because it's always like it's the
2011 season.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Unreal. And I'm not taking anything away from it. Again, I'm not discrediting it.
I mean, you guys were the wild card that year, right?
Yeah, both years.
And you handed them their first loss in the championship.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
And the only other...
Right. Say it again, Mike. I love hearing it from Eagles
fans. The only other thing I will say about people that make the argument about the Eli throw and it being like the luckiest thing ever. Now, yes, look.
100% lucky.
All I'm going to back it with is that, yes, it was a lucky grab and how it fell and everything. Everyone that says, like, oh, Eli just chucked it up. He did just throw it, but you have to understand he didn't just go like look and just like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, maybe.
No, but no, if you watch the tape, he gets, when he escapes literally twice, he looks, arms up, and sees the guy downfield and throws it. Did he think he was going to get it to him or like have the catch? No, but he found the guy. And that's what the only argument is that I don't like people that are like, well, he just chucked it up in the air to see what happens. It's like, no, because if that was the case, you would have thrown it out of bounds. Like, because when he escaped, he would have looked again and just whatever. My only argument with it is that was an amazing play. I don't care if you think that it was a miracle. It was a miracle. But yes, there was some skill needed to it because, I mean, that man was a ballerina in the pocket. I mean...
Something you don't usually get to say about a Manning.
No, never. No, you never. Until in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we're looking at their... at who is it Peyton's? Or no, it's Archie's son.
Yeah.
Kid is a stud.
When Daniel Jones doesn't work out, he's going to get drafted to the Giants I'm just kidding. I hope that doesn't happen.
Bold
Bam!
No. Time out. I hope I want Daniel Jones to be the next coming of Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Okay. Archie Manning is the nephew of Peyton and Eli. It's is it Cooper's son? Is that that's the Manning?
I think so.
Regardless, he's an amazing quarterback. Like, I think he's ranked number 1 in the 2024 class.
He goes to the same high school too, right?
He goes to the same high school that Eli, Odell, and I think Peyton. Did Peyton go there too? Yeah. Okay.
They played. No, they never played.
No. They never. So that was the thing. Peyton never played.
Cooper
with
and Peyton
Eli.
played.
Cooper played with Peyton.
He was the wide receiver.
Eli never played with Peyton, and then Eli also missed Odell because Odell came in that like following year, and that was like the whole big thing about it.
No, Odell. Wait, hold on. Eli got drafted.
It was a couple years after.
Yeah, I was gonna say because
it was me breaking it down. No, because Odell's 25.
No, he's older than us.
27.
He got drafted in 13. Was he a senior when
he was 13? I mean, he probably was a senior.
I think he's like 28.
Regardless, 28, 29, doesn't matter. Okay, so yeah.
Sorry, back to
Eli, Joe Namath, probably on the same. I mean, like I understand that comparison. I definitely understand what you're saying, putting him on the bottom tier. I can't be mad at it. I mean, the man gave me great years of Giants football, which like I can't.
Yeah, I mean that's all you could ask for.
Yeah,
two Super Bowls.
I mean, like statistically,
I cried.
You could say like, oh, Donovan McNabb, he didn't have a huge. I mean, he had a pretty good. What was he? 05 to. When did he go to the Skins after that?
Yeah.
Or Washington football team. I didn't say the full name.
No, he was the Skins at the time.
Didn't he go to the Vikings too? Did he go to the Vikings?
I think Vikings was afterwards. Was he on a cover of a game as the Vikings?
I think you're thinking of Dante Culpepper.
No, I'm thinking of what about Far? No, I am thinking about Dante Culpepper.
A player that if he held out for his entire career with those numbers, he'd be a first ballot.
Oh yeah,
Dante Culpepper.
He put up like 2 or 3 years where he was just lights out.
Also, great Madden, by the way.
That was a good Madden.
No, the Vic
Madden
was better.
Back when Madden was actually a good. Vic was 07, I think. Yeah, back when Madden was actually a good game. The big thing with Vic, I'll just kind of touch upon it.
Greatest quarterback of all time.
The thing I'll say on Vic is that, like, I mean, he's going to end as a great... I mean, he was a great NFL player. I was not really the biggest fan of him, as I've said a couple times on here.
You can imagine why.
I mean, like, I
understand that, and I agree.
And, like, the biggest case that I kind of make to people all the time is a lot of people play the innocent card with him. They're like, well, he didn't know. Which is, like, the furthest thing from, like, any part of the truth. Because, like, I mean, like, you know, it was all going on there. So, I will give him praise for being as good of a quarterback as he was. What he did in college was amazing. What he did when he came to the NFL was amazing. But really poopy guy. Not a cool guy.
I don't know if I'd call him a poopy guy.
I would call him...
For what he did, yes. But for what he did after, I think he made a great change. He tried to turn around.
I agree.
And I think... Yeah, what he did was awful, but after that entire whole scene, I think he picked it up.
I think he did. So I think you're right. I think he did the right thing. I just don't like the fact that a lot of people say, like, a lot of people go to bat and say, like, he never should have, like, faced anything for, like, you know, like, you know, like, but that's the thing. A lot of people are like, oh, well, no, and then, like, they're like, you should have just done community service, and I'm like, okay, but here's the problem. The point is that in America and the world is we need to have more people that are kind of being proactive towards, like, we shouldn't do that. Not the people that sit idly by and just watch things happen. It's kind of like the it's called something. It's called the something effect, where if there's 100 people by and someone's getting someone's getting, like, abused or beat up on the street, it's the bystander effect of the next person will say something, the next person will call, like, they'll call an ambulance, and then it keeps trickling down the line, similar to telephone, where it never stays the same, and or who knows if it'll actually, you know. So again, I give him a little bit of respect that he's trying to change things now, and he's done a decent job with it, and I mean, again, people are going to give him a lot of praise for it. Me, as someone just that is very involved in the scene of, you know, the rescue community and really trying to do my best with all that stuff, I do kind of take it a little bit offensively, only in the sense that if you knew the statistics when it comes to, like, pit bulls compared to any other dog, you'd probably, like, throw up. Like, 1 in 600 pit bulls finds a forever home. Like, part of the problem is dog fighting. Part of the problem is mass breeding.
It's stigma.
So, but you know what I'm saying? So, like, that's the thing. I can't take my dog to the park because you think my dog is vicious, because people are using it in dog fighting and people are breeding it into, you know, but like, but then but that's what I'm saying. When you break it down, it's people are not helping fight it, people are helping support it, and it's the silence that is doing more damage because you're not going and being a vital part to do it. Mike did his wrongful acts. I wish he had acted on it earlier, because a part of me would be like, listen, like, he kind of, you know, stuck up. You know, he did something about it before he got caught. He cut it off. He said, not anymore, not here, whatever. But I will give him respect that afterwards he was able to kind of, you know, figure things out a little bit more. But that's, again, it's just coming from me. I take it a little bit more personally. That's just kind of like my approach to it, but I don't expect everyone to be as pissed off as I am.
So needless to say, he doesn't rank within your top five.
No. I mean, if I have to sit there and say all time, like, greatest players,
no, of course he's not.
He's not in the conversation.
You could put him in the top 100 and put him, like, you know, towards the.
I'd put him as one of those players that wasn't consistent enough to be that guy, but I think he's one of the players that definitely revolutionized the game.
Oh, I mean,
especially the quarterback position.
The dual threat quarterback. I mean, before him, all right, you had Randall Cunningham and Steve Young.
And if I almost just said Jackie Moon.
Jackie Moon. All right, what is it?
No, Warren Moon.
Warren Moon.
You. Oh no, you said Cunningham. I was gonna say, I was pointing at this guy.
But, like, outside of that, I mean, obviously there has been more. I mean, honestly, you could even argue Joe Namath was a dual threat quarterback. Okay, we're being really technical here.
Oh my God.
All right, but, you know, Michael Vick made it like a commodity to have that.
Yeah. To have a run and a throw. That's the thing, you know. So and
now, I mean, look at the NFL today. Mahomes, Jackson,
Watson.
Yeah, all running quarterbacks.
Hell,
yeah.
Even Daniel Jones is a dual threat quarterback.
You know what, though?
That dude had the highest rushing yards last night.
The one thing I will say that I respect about a lot of these guys now, so I think a lot of people get mad because the run and gun quarterbacks of the ages past didn't last as long. Like what?
Because they got injured.
Well,
Cam.
No, Robert Griffin, RG3. Like, I mean, again, he was an injury-prone guy, but the problem. So what I'm trying to say is the problem with a lot of those guys is they weren't.
Mike Shanahan ruined that.
Oh no, I agree, but a lot of those guys come down to the run-first quarterback is not something that'll survive in the NFL. Personally, the pass with the run is what you need. You need to be able to be that guy that can throw the ball, and then if I need to, I can go, or we can have design plays that I can run. But if you go into the NFL with the mentality that it's like I'm going to make those runs first, or I'm looking immediately to make a hole, hit a gap, that career is going to be cut in half drastically.
Look at Mariota.
But I mean,
I know you like Mariota.
I'm a Ducks fan, so like that just like was the biggest dagger.
It's true. I mean,
and you know, the conversation was going so well, and then Pat just like javelin like right to my throat. Like,
and I got nothing against Mariota. Mariota, is terrific Oregon quarterback.
He's the greatest.
And I'll be honest with you, I think that if he didn't have I never really sat down and actually watched Mariota, but from what I understand,
in Oregon Mariota, oh my God.
he ran all over the place, didn't he?
It's so good.
Yeah.
I'm so sad now.
But then again, so did Tim Tebow.
Depressed. Okay.
And Jameis Winston. No, Jameis Winston's more of a pocket guy.
He's more of a just like close your eyes and throw it. And then
all right, so I'll just really quickly do my number 2 because then we'll go 3-2, 3-2, 1-1-1.
How many more do I have? 3?
It's top 5. You did 2.
Well, you guys said like 2 of mine.
Right, so then we'll just go back and you just say that they were on there.
All right, well, I got 1 left.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
All right. My number 2 is a tie, wide receiver-wise. It kind of just comes down to number 1 that you said. Jerry Rice is on there. And then the only other guy that I said was also there is Moss. I mean, Randy Moss. You don't even need full sentences to describe this man. I mean, the term "mossed" is like a thing that they very frequently use now.
That's what I'm going to do to you on Saturday.
Yeah, okay. I'll be throwing passes right over your head. You'll be gassed and just running all over the field.
I probably will be gassed. I'm not going to lie to you.
I've been training for this. Ask anybody. I've been spending.
Dude, I'm my heaviest I've been since my junior year of high school.
Dang!
I'm not okay right now. So.
Well, breaking news.
I'll be sucking wind after the first freaking.
Oh, I can't wait. I think we're supposed to play on Saturday. We're supposed to play football, and I can't wait because it's like you're gonna see the people that like are a little bit out of shape, and then you're gonna see the couple people that are like think they're in shape. Mm-hmm. Like I'll shout out Shane because Shane will probably never see this.
Is Shane going?
Shane might be going, but I've been like occasionally. Yeah, but I'm occasionally throwing at the park with Shane. Like I'll hit him up and he'll come to the park and we'll just like run routes for like 2 hours on end, just like running. He's definitely in shape, but it's funny because he's not in cardio wise his best shape. So we'll both be gassed, just like sitting there. We're like, oh shit, dude, we're gonna play a game, right? So I told him on Saturday, I'm like, yo, we might be playing Saturday. He's like, all right, bro, I'm going to be practicing routes.
I got to train.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, knowing him, he'll definitely start hitting the weights. He'll be ready to go for Saturday. But, I mean, dude, these two men, I mean, Moss part of that Patriots team that was pretty damn scary, and that was towards the end of his career. So that was what I was kind of alluding to before. When, I mean, he was at the end of his role, and, I mean, that man was still, like, terrifying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the term get mossed is on the similar terms of Kobe. Yeah, whenever you shoot you shoot a basket, it's Kobe. Whenever you
just make someone look stupid.
Yep.
What they don't tell you about the term getting mossed is actually it's not from Randy Moss. It's from Sonoris Moss of the Redskins.
Damn it, Pat! You just ruined my entire.
Sonoris Moss, Giants great also.
Is it from Santana Moss?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sense of shit. That's what I meant.
It's from the term moss that grows on a tree. Have you ever heard of it? But I mean, those two for me, it was kind of hard for me to pick just because it's one of those things where you can really make the case because, like, I mean, Jerry Rice, you could say, is the better wide receiver, and he has those accolades and everything. Yeah, but then like you can look. I again would put Jerry Rice over Moss because I like. I'm a big sneaker guy. I have the Jerry Rice. There's a pair of trainers that were made for him because back when they used to play in these trainers, like these Bo Jackson Air Trainer 1s. And they're a special Jerry Rice pair where he used to say that he would catch bricks. Did you ever hear that story? He used to catch bricks for accuracy and hand strength and stuff. And it's literally mason bricks on the inside of the shoe and the sole.
That doesn't sound very comfortable.
Not actual bricks. It's pictures of the bricks. Sorry, for the listeners, Pat is really grilling me today.
Yeah.
So,
all right, Rick Sanchez, relax.
But yeah, no, I mean, those are my two guys. Any given day, I can really kind of just interchange them, in my opinion. It really just depends. If you had to kind of quote me, it'd be 2A would be Rice, 2B would be Moss. But that's my two. So, Pat... 3, 2, 1, and yeah.
You guys pretty much said everybody that I want to say, but there's one name that we haven't thrown out yet, and as a Giants fan, it pains me to say it.
Oh, God.
You know exactly who I'm going to say? Do you?
I don't.
It's a Cowboy. Emmitt Smith.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say Romo, and I was going to...
What?
Yeah, I didn't know where you were going.
Is it crack that I smoke?
No,
what are you saying?
Listen, you've been saying pretty controversial things tonight, Pat.
Listen, that's the name of the game. But no, Emmitt Smith. I mean, the guy, you couldn't stop the guy.
No, I mean, dude, animal rusher. I mean, the man is literally one of. Is he still? He has the record, right? Does he?
Yes.
For what?
Rushing yards.
Most rushing yards
in a
career,
season.
Yeah.
Or is it in a career?
No, no. Adrian Peterson holds single game, not career.
I thought he had career. From the. Can you look up really quickly, Frankie, for me? NFL rushing leaders career, and then you can do season. Regardless, I mean the man torched our division for years, and that was during the not so good Eagles years, and that was towards the on the back end of good Giants years.
No, the Giants were good. Oh yeah, I guess.
Pat?
Yeah, no, you're right.
I think Kerry Collins was our quarterback during that time, possibly, or Danny Cannell.
Took us to a Super Bowl.
All right, so we got number 1, Emmitt Smith.
Okay, yeah.
Number 2, Walter Payton.
Yes.
Number 3, Frank Gore.
Let's
go!
Yo, that when I was thinking of Anquan Bolden. Wait, time out. I was thinking of Anquan Bolden and Andre Johnson.
And Frank Gore.
That's another name that popped in my head. I completely forgot about.
Frank Gore had, I think it's 8 consecutive years of 1,000-yard rushing that no one talks about.
Yeah.
I think it was 8 or 9
I think
years.
if he plays next year, his son's eligible.
He is.
I thought his son was a freshman this year.
Well,
he might be a sophomore.
Would they be the first?
No, he has to be a junior.
Would they be the first father-son tandem to play in the NFL?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I would have to fact check that, but I would.
I think you're right.
I mean, Brady's kid's not coming in.
No, unless it's a punter or kicker's son. There's no way.
There's literally statistically absolutely no way.
But no, Emmitt Smith, fuck that guy.
No, damn it.
But mad respect. The guy was lights out for his entire career. And you know what the thing is too, with it when you're on a team that is so offensively stacked. Troy Aikman.
Dude, those Cowboys were so effing good.
They really were.
They were so good. That's why I don't do anything. That's why that's why they won. That's why we don't need them to win now. That's why we don't need them to get anywhere close to it.
I mean, they on that offense, even everybody on their offensive line was good. I mean, I couldn't name.
Do we know any Washington football team fans in the area?
I couldn't name a single.
No, I know. I'm saying that because it would be an amazing dialogue if we could get a fan, and then we could get Joey and TJ. I know it would be harder.
Yeah.
But you can bring in Frank, me and you.
Just have your posse of
But you know what I mean? Just
a bunch of Eagles fans
just
with a bunch of bats what's his name from Walking Dead just standing in the
No, it's Warriors. Come out and play,
Is that a grenade?
I mean, literally, it's a gun from the future.
Is that a dragon?
Ooh, quick question: 1 or 2? What had a better fight scene?
I think 2 did. Because just more star power.
I think 1 though, because one was just the fact that it happened. The movie's happening, and out of nowhere a battle happens, and then it evolves to the way it does. Imagine, I wish I could have went back in time to see that in the theaters. I would have loved to have watched everyone's reaction and been like,
Ben Stiller and his Mexican posse was the best part I thought about.
I've seen the first Anchorman many times. I've only seen the second Anchorman once.
I think I've seen it like twice.
All I remember from it is a shark and a lighthouse.
I remember the lighthouse too. So
doesn't he like seclude himself in the lighthouse room?
He goes blind, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You know what though? I said back then, because me and Frankie have been stupid on movies forever. I said back then, I'm like, this is a movie I don't love now, but I might like in the future. And I think I have to watch Anchorman 2 now and see if I like it.
That'll be a good throwback one.
Yeah, exactly.
Dobie. What was the shape of the shark?
Me and Frankie were actually talking about it. We were laughing because we said that we think our movie, like, chaos started when, do you remember on Halloween, it was like around Halloween years ago when the remake of Mike Myers came out and we watched it down here?
Oh, the Rob Zombie cut?
Yes, the Rob Zombie cut. Halloween. We said that was like the first time that we think we like fell in love with going and watching movies because then we started like going into the theaters on Sundays and doing 4 cuts, Toy Story, Planet of the Apes, whatever, all on the same night. We said that was the night that like kind of like culted us into, oh, we kind of like this movie thing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that definitely picked up with you. I know you're a big movie guy.
Oh yeah, yes sir.
But all right, well, so Pat, who else do you have? Anybody else before? Do you have your number one?
Yeah, I already said it because who's already mentioned.
Who was
it? Fine.
Tom Brady.
Oh, Tom Brady.
Yeah, I think Tom Brady's my number one. Too.
And not because I really like the guy, because I'll be honest with you, anybody that kisses their kid on the mouth, I have trust issues with. But dude, you can't take away the fact that the man literally won 6 Super Bowls, greatest teams of all time. Everybody around him, he made better. And he got it done. And like typically when your team gets it done consistently like that, you have a superpower running back.
Oh yeah.
Look at the Cowboys. Look at the Steelers. Look at all these great dynasties. They had very good running backs.
Or two running backs. Yeah. In the state of the Giants.
Who the hell have the Patriots had?
Running back wise?
Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis.
Oh my God! What a name!
Come on.
Lawrence Maroney.
Oh no, what's his name? The guy from that he was on the Giants like 2 years later, after he left the Patriots. He's out of the backfield pass catcher.
Oh my God! No, don't say it. Oh, fuck! It's gonna piss me off so much. I want to say
he was actually he was a really good option out of the backfield for Tom Brady for like 3 years. Then he signed with the Giants as a free agent and did absolutely nothing.
I want to say it's I want to say Olivier Vernon. It's not.
No, it's not Olivier Vernon.
No, I know. I'm saying it's something. Shane Vereen.
Shane Vereen.
Ah! Give me a minute.
Devine had me thinking.
Woo!
Yeah,
Damn
Shane Vereen. Yeah, that guy did nothing.
Oh my God, disgusting.
Yeah, remember that? Wait, Luke. Remember that backfield we had with Shane Vereen, David Wilson, and Rashad Jennings. Rashad Jennings was our number one back.
Oh my God! I love that we had Rashad Jennings and Shane Vereen both past their prime too. Does anyone see a thing going on here?
I was so high on Rashad Jennings because he was really good for Oakland, and we
got him, and he was 28.
And you know what though? He wasn't even bad. He wasn't that bad. He was just on a bad team.
I don't want to get into this right now. I'm going to be a fucking wreck all night.
I'm sorry. He's going to eat a cigarette after this one.
Too busy thinking about Henry Hynoski highlights, like, get off my back!
Yeah, that's what he's saying. That dude was a beast.
1 touchdown with the Giants for the record.
Yeah, his touchdown celebration is one for the Hall of Fame.
I'm trying to get his jersey, because again, if you haven't noticed, I'm the king of the absurd jerseys. You should have worn your Peyton Hillis Browns jersey.
I think I'm the king of the absurd jerseys.
That was an iconic jersey in high school.
You know, with the
Peyton Hillis.
Yes, he pulled up with that Peyton Hillis Browns jersey, and he was one of the only people that I knew that had it, and we got on
One of? There's multiple people
Yeah,
you knew?
I don't know anyone else.
I don't either, but what I'm saying is everyone was crazy on him, and Pat went out and got it.
Yeah,
I
it was like,
remember,
fuck yeah.
No one else
dude,
did.
because me and Pat used to play so much Madden, we fell in love with Peyton Hillis. We were like, this is our guy.
Yeah,
Like,
I would draft him for my fantasy draft teams, like in Madden.
Along with the quarterback of the Browns, the 2 wide receivers.
Oh, yeah. Friggin' Brandon Whedon.
Who was the quarterback of
Josh Gordon.
Oh my God. No, it was prior to that. Josh Gordon, no. If you're talking Peyton Hillis...
No, Hawkins was a
I need to know.
Bengal.
My phone's going to die. Can you look up one more thing for me?
Yeah.
Can you look up Peyton Hillis Browns and just see what years it was? Whatever year you find...
09 to 2012.
What year did he rush
Came to the
for?
Giants in 13.
I need to find that fucking
Yo, do you remember that?
I would love that Giants jersey. That would be
Listen,
It might be 11 then.
The day that man signed a contract with the New York Giants,
Pat was.
I was ready to throw a fucking parade. Not for the Super Bowl, just for the fact that my favorite running back.
That's alright. Don't worry about it.
I'll fix this after.
Oh, don't take the other one down with it.
No, it's just coming down.
Here, go down.
Technical difficulties.
Why do you invite this guy?
Hey, I'm the co-host partially. Get out of my face.
Peyton Hillis stats I'm looking up, right?
Yeah, look up whatever year he rushed for like.
It was 1,010 yards. Was it even like that?
Rushing yards in total?
No. Like there's one year that he rushed for
1,000 yards.
Yeah, like a bunch.
It's like 2010. He was on the Madden cover in 10. Wow, that was 10 years ago, dude. It was 10 fucking years ago.
Oh, dude, we got him, and I remember how hyped we were. We
Yeah,
were
he did
so
nothing.
hyped. We were
In 2008,
He was on the Broncos.
entering Sunday with 962 yards rushing, Hillis reached the milestone with an 8-yard gain on his 4th carry early in the first quarter of the Browns game at the Buffalo Bills.
Because 09, I'm almost positive was the year he was on.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
not 10, 9.
All right, so then what was that? 08 you said?
Whoa. This date says December 12th, 2010, my birthday. But
Weird.
but
What a day to be born, huh?
I don't know why it's saying that date. Could that be the date?
Let me see.
It could be.
Here, I'll just.
Sorry, I'm just cleaning up my mess.
I was about to say, how the fuck did you fit the bottle caps in there? But now realizing you probably just like bent them, right?
I sure did.
Okay, yeah. Some magic going on here in this fucking podcast, dude.
Because like under the bottle, he's just like.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to know a fringe player
Oh my
that I think
God.
could be the greatest?
Wait until I read you this.
Please read it.
Wait, let me guess one of the receivers. Because it just came to my mind. Joshua Cribbs.
Yes! That dude was a beast of a return man.
Oh, yeah.
That guy was really good as a return man.
Muhammad Massacre.
Muhammad Massaquoi.
No, Massaquoi. Muhammad Massaquoi. That guy had such big potential and he was just nothing.
And now he's a sportscaster.
Brian
Is
Robishke. Ben Watson was on that
Benjamin
team.
Watson,
yeah, he was.
Colt McCoy was the starting quarterback as a rookie.
Oh,
Fuck yeah, he was.
Joe Thomas.
That's my backup quarterback. Joe Thomas.
Kenyon Coleman was the left defensive. Oh my God, this defense. Brian Schafering is the right defensive end.
You know who they're...
Matt Roth, linebacker. Eric Batson, linebacker.
No, their cornerback
Chris
didn't...
Goldenka.
They had... What's his name as their cornerback?
TJ Ward, safety. Sheldon
TJ
Brown,
Ward,
cornerback. Eric Wright,
Sean Brown's
cornerback.
pretty good.
No, didn't they have... What's his name too?
Adam Elam.
What's his name? He was really good for them.
God, what a year. Thank you, Frank.
He's on the Steelers now.
Joe Hayden.
Joe Hayden,
Wasn't
thank you.
2010.
Oh, he was
Yeah,
later.
that was a lot later, I think.
He's an older player now, but
Yeah,
I
he's-
thought he came in like no, man, it might have been the neck.
I remember watching Hard Knocks, and the Browns, I think, were the Hard Knocks team that year, and they were showing Joe Hayden, who I guess was their first round draft pick that year, and they were following around with the camera and stuff, and he was in the team store in the stadium. Was it Paul? No, that's the Bengals, but whatever their stadium is. And he's in the store, and he's like looking at his jerseys. He's like all hyped. He's like, "Oh man, I got these jerseys. I'm gonna sell it." And he's like, "Dude, you're not gonna sell any jerseys. You're on the fucking Browns." He's hyped up. He's like, "Oh man, these things. I'm gonna make so much money off these jerseys." Like, no, you're not.
My God. So was your number one Brady too?
My number one was Brady, and a close second was Jerry Rice.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Let it be said, Emmitt Smith, not in any particular order. He just popped in my head, and I think he's one of the greatest players.
That's fine. I'm just happy that I can have a controversial yet different number one.
Yeah, that's fine. You're wrong, but I hate
guesses? Okay, that's fine. Any guesses?
Offensive or defensive?
Can't tell you that.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know it.
I can't tell you.
And
Pat knows
I only had offense in my head. If I had thought clearly before I came in here, he probably would have been like my top three. I know exactly.
Well, I
what
have
you're
defense
thinking.
in my head.
Okay.
You're right.
No, you are right.
Go ahead. You know exactly.
Florence Taylor.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Stupid me. I should.
I mean,
guessed.
so again, bad guy, not a good guy. Very
Dude,
bad
he did crack.
offensive.
Okay.
He did crack. Leave him alone.
He also has a couple like rape cases on his hands and stuff like
Oh,
that.
well, that's not okay.
Yeah, no. Again,
I didn't
what
know
I'm
that.
saying is not a good guy.
I did not know that.
I take back what I said.
But so what I am saying
Fuck
is
that guy.
what I am saying
He's his
for
number
him.
I'm sorry.
I'm not
Just
a bad
shitting on Luke
person.
today.
Listen, I'm all for it, man. But give me a break. Listen, all I'm saying is this man changed the defensive end position. He was drafted as a defensive
System
end,
linebacker under Belichick. System linebacker.
but
Just kidding.
he just transformed the stand-up outside guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no one did it before him. I mean, people probably did it, but no one did it with success before him to the way he did.
Linebackers weren't known for their pass rush.
I mean, dude, linebackers were coverage guys. They were guys that blocked the holes, and that was that.
Mm-hmm.
That was just how it was. And the thing that really is so intriguing that Carl Banks was on that team too, give me help.
Harry Carson.
Harry Carson were like
and that the other guy too. I forget his name. He's always forgotten.
Mark.
I forget his name.
I just looked it up the other day too.
There was 4 linebackers on that team that would have
Regardless,
started on any team.
They were all great linebackers. They all had something different. But the reason that really kind of sits with me, obviously being a Giants fan, he just completely changed that position and the way it was played, which now is what they all do. You know, so going and watching a guy do that is truly amazing to watch and see what this man would do every game. I mean, this man would go in there every game, and he was in your face every game.
Just a bunch of wild dogs out here.
I mean, dude, he was just abusive. Like, this man on the field. And, like, you know, I would make a case and try to say Strahan would make my top 100 because I think Strahan also did amazing things.
He'd make my
for the
top
New York.
20.
I mean, Strahan would make my top 50 personally as a Giants fan, but, like, other people could make the case no. He is the sack...
all-time sack leader.
Leader, right?
Career sack leader, yeah.
Is it in a season, though? I don't think it's all time. I thought it was in a season that he leads. Because I thought he had like 23 or 24 in a season.
I think he's both.
Really?
He's
all time? Can you look up the all-time sack leader, Frankie?
Yeah.
Last search for the night.
No, you're good.
You're a
Frankie's
statistician.
fact checker of the night.
Yeah.
But I will really quickly go before I finish. Frankie, the cream soda, how was it?
Oh, the cream soda's amazing. I want to get it every time now.
Dude, right?
If I can find it.
Frankie, I need the review on it.
It's Dr. Pepper and cream soda?
It's a cream soda
Cream soda
mixed
Dr.
with
Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
All right, I can
Now,
respect that.
where did you get this? Because I've never even heard of this.
Yeah.
So it
Facts,
came
right.
out as like a limited edition one, and I know that it's at Stop and Shop is now there. It's not ShopRite, right?
Well, it used to be Food Town?
Yes.
Oh, it's at Stop and Shop.
That's Stop and Shop.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yes, they have a bunch of cases of it. I had heard about it, and then I was like, shit, I'm trying to find it. I think I found it at like it was like a 7-Eleven or something that they had like a casing of them. So I got one. I tried it. I was like, okay, this is actually pretty good. I don't like to have soda a lot, but like when I do, I'm like, I'd rather have Dr. Pepper personally.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I drink ginger ale though a lot. Like I like ginger ale. But I was like, if I want one, I want a Dr. Pepper. And I had this, and I was like, oh shit, like this is really good. And it almost dumbs down the strong Dr. Pepper taste.
It does.
It makes it like very smooth. Dr. Pepper's already smooth, but like when you're like, you know, getting towards, yeah. You know who that is? Do you know who that is?
Yes.
That-
I just saw this. I know who.
I told you on.
Oh, yeah, you
I
did.
told you on
Yeah.
your birthday today.
Yeah.
It's an American Idol contest. It's
It's like
David,
season 4, whatever.
It's like season 3 or season 4's like either winner or second runner up is the Dr.
Oh.
Pepper guy. It's the sweet one.
What's his name?
David, Justin. It's something with a
Justin David.
No,
Beef.
no, it's Justin and then like a longer last name.
If you ask Frankie to look this up, we're going to have problems.
Frankie, look it up.
What did
All-time sack leader in the NFL.
Okay.
I think it's Strahan.
I think it's. I don't know if it's him.
So who do you think it is?
I think in a season it's Strahan. Michael Strahan.
Okay, what about you? Who do you think?
What are we talking about, though? In a season or all time?
All-time sack leader in NFL.
Hold on, let me think. Who else is on that? Who else is on that? Is at that level? Who else is on that level?
Do you think longevity-wise, like
it's the guy from the Bills, isn't it? Isn't it Cedric? No.
Cedric Benson.
Oh my God,
that's a name.
He was good.
No, Smith.
Ooh.
Yeah,
he's got it.
It's It's the he's on the Bills, right?
I don't know what team.
Okay, it says Smith.
It says Smith. Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith on the Bills
with 200 sacks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reggie White with 198.
Oh my God,
Reggie White could have been a top five.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Kevin Green with 160.
Does it go any further or no?
I thought Strahan was up.
No, Strahan
17
was
17 more rows.
No, because
Strahan's definitely top 5.
Strahan didn't play. I don't think he played that long. Like, I mean, he played a good career, but he didn't play like that.
Julius Peppers.
Oh my God, what a good player!
159.
That was,
Yeah, Julius Peppers was awesome.
Chris Coleman
Jared
at
Allen?
150.
Beast.
And then number 6, Michael Strahan at 141.
There you go.
But he might be.
Can you look up in a season? Yeah, look up the all-time
I think he might be
sack leader for a season. I think
Yeah.
it's 23 and a half.
And I think Jared Allen got close.
Anybody want? Oh yeah, I
Jared
remember
Allen
we
got
were.
close.
I think we were in high school or middle school when that was happening, and
When
people
Jared
were
Allen
like,
got close,
"Oh,
yeah.
like yeah."
He missed it by like half a sack or a sack.
So
Wait.
who do you think that is?
That's Strahan.
It is Strahan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. Anyone want to guess? I said 23 and a half.
I think you're right.
Almost positive.
22. It's over 22.
I'm going to say 24.
22 and a half. Yeah.
Damn it. I was positive, dude. I was positive.
Yeah, you're
22 and a half. Who comes in second?
Jared Allen.
How many did he have?
22.
Yeah.
Oh my
He missed
God.
half a
He
sack.
missed it by half.
I remember that.
Oh my God.
Rodeo, Jared Allen.
He's not the only one. Mark Gastineau.
Mark Gastineau. Yeah.
With 22 and Justin Houston.
That's
with
a good
22.
check.
Justin
Houston was
Houston.
very
What
good.
year was that?
2000.
Doesn't say. Oh my God.
That was recently.
Probably.
That was recent. That was after
It's
Jared
in the
Allen.
last 4 years, 5 years probably.
Justin
Houston. Wow.
Because that Chiefs defense, it's not what it used to be, but that Chiefs defense like 4 or 5 years ago was one of the best fantasy.
Oh no, that was a
defenses of
great
all time.
defense. Yeah.
I had that year that I had Peyton Manning. The Chiefs. I had the Chiefs defense.
Chiefs defense.
I had the Chiefs defense.
But it was the Broncos defense on the bench.
Yeah. Yo, the Broncos defense was really good at that time too.
Of course they were.
I didn't have them. They were.
I wish we could go back and find his team. I would love to see.
Yeah, just like your weekly points.
Bro,
As we go back,
wait,
like, he just
was that
shits
on
us, it's
ESPN
like
or
20 points
NFL?
every
Maybe I
every player.
if I could remember my ESPN login, I might be able to find it.
Dude, just like find just go to it and like do like lost
have it on
password or
here.
whatever. No, like eventually. I'm just saying down the line. Remember.
We'll have to come back to that and discuss my fantasy team.
I'll just end it with saying again, I this was a great episode. Thank you guys for coming. This was awesome dialogue.
I had fun. I had a great time.
I hope you had a good time. Thank you guys for shitting on me for 2.5 hours, 2 hours an hour, whatever
it was
is.
my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for Odelling me for 2 hours or whatever.
Oh yeah, we
it
did
is.
talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
Odell back to the Giants. He's
But-
on the trade block.
Okay,
That's what I say all the time.
Francesa
Oh yeah,
reported.
Francesa's a reliable source.
Yeah, no, fuck Francesa. I hate that guy. But
So my take with it is I'm seeing a lot of Ravens talk, and I feel like for them that would be. So it's good and bad.
They're gonna
It
pay them more?
definitely. So it's definitely going to hurt their younger guys because they have such growth with like Mark Andrews and
Lamar?
Hollywood. What?
Lamar.
No, they're wide receivers and their
Hollywood
tight ends.
Brown.
Like, yeah, I'm saying like it's going to hurt those guys because they're not going to get touches because wherever Odell's going, I mean he's going to have to get touches. He's going to try to reinvent his game. Listen, I would welcome him back. Someone today proposed it as like a joke trade, which in my opinion for the performance,
Golden Tate in the fourth.
yeah. I would not give up the 4th, though. I think that's crazy because up until, in my opinion, the 5th round, that's quality draft picks depending on how you draft.
I think a fourth isn't. I don't think a fourth is too much to ask for.
because you're
Odell.
hemorrhaging guys that you could get to start week 1. Darnell Holmes literally was a 4th or a 5th pick. he is starting this week.
Then again, how many
good.
4th round picks actually do crack?
That's not the point, though, rotation. Because look at what we do every year. We trade a 3rd, we trade a 4th, and then when we have a gap from the 2nd pick, our 2nd round pick, all the way to the 5th,
yeah, no,
or the 3rd,
I get what you're saying.
I get what you're saying. We always gap ourselves way too much, where we miss out on quality guys that we could trade up a little bit for to get back in
I just think a 4th round pick is worth getting someone who's familiar with the locker room.
Yeah, but you're getting
who can
receive.
But it's a different
accepting that.
But Odell,
if he wants out, I think they'll get anything they can get for him.
Depending on their situation.
There's no way in hell that they're going to take a 4th round and an overpaid veteran receiver.
So
Odell.
the only thing
His contract was
the only
top-heavy,
thing I
so
will,
he's been paid already.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say about Golden Tate though is that he's more productive the past year than Odell. So,
yeah,
well,
I'd say so.
You have Baker Mayfield throwing.
Yeah, but
this guy's in more commercials than he has wins.
No, yeah, literally. But if you're looking at it statistically, look, I'm not saying it would happen. I'm saying they'd probably come back and be like, we want a 2nd. You know, like they'd probably want that. In my opinion, as soon as they pass like a 3rd, I'm just not even thinking about it. Like, because at that point, there's almost no reason to even give up Golden Tate because I'd rather try to trade him for a younger guy or a pick of value.
The thing is, you're not going to get a guy like that or a pick of value.
Yeah, but
for
you
Golden
can't.
Tate.
So what he's saying is you can't trade Golden Tate and something for Odell. So what am I gonna trade Golden Tate for? I'm gonna try to trade him for something at least a little bit of a step under Odell, which might be someone that's a little older or younger that just doesn't get the production.
You send Jabril back?
I mean, I'll ship Jabril out tomorrow, dude. I mean,
yeah,
I think he's an athletic guy,
right.
but he's not a good defensive player. He's a guy that is look at me, I'm Jabril. And did you watch the play he got burned on? Did you see that play yesterday? Mm-hmm. Bro, go look it up when you go home. You will text me back and just laughing at me.
Yeah,
he came up on a run. Was it Juju that came up or someone? They did an end around. And he broke down, and he took the worst angle possible. Came up like this, and Juju was like this, and just hit him with a fake. And Jabril was like, "Oh shit!" and had to stop and turn. That's how bad he got him on the outside.
Yeah, Jabril takes very bad angles.
Because he just comes in. He doesn't break down. He's just like, I got it, and fucking runs straight.
You know what Jabril's issue is? He's trying so hard to fill the shoes of Landon Collins in the run game. He forgets how to play the pass game. Which Landon Collins was never able to do.
Screw Landon Collins.
Yeah, no, Landon, not for nothing, the fan base really rallied behind him, and the way he walked out with figuratively flipping the bird to the fan base kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Because I always thought Landon Collins, the second we drafted him, I was really hyped. Really hyped to be able to say, oh shit, we got him in the 2nd round. That's literally that's a top 32.
It's all good.
Draft pick talent.
Xavier McKinney's going to be a better player than him. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, let's see how he heals.
It'll be fine. Worst case, knowing them at this point, if we're going into the season and we're not doing well by the time he's healthy, in my opinion, just sit him. Just let him play next year because there's no reason to try to bring him back on a season that might be,
Fakakta.
Yeah. But all I'll say is, Frankie, I want you to edit this. Screw you, Landon Collins, and screw you, Tiki Barber.
Fuck Tiki Barber. Fuck Tiki Barber.
Any person that wants to talk Giants with me anytime, that is the one thing I always say.
Yeah, no, fuck Tiki Barber.
Fuck Tiki Barber.
That guy's a scumbag.
That guy is the biggest scumbag ever. He's a little whiny bitch, couldn't win a title with us, so then Eli went out and said, screw you, I'm going to go win a title against the best team of all time.
His brother was the better football player.
Literally. But it's just, it is comical that Tiki threw Eli under the bus mad, and then the next year Eli went and won a fucking Super Bowl. This day, I will tell my kids that as a bedtime story. I'll be like, and Tiki sat in the house crying as Eli won with some Christmas jingle I'll come
Christmas
up with.
Miracle.
Yeah, exactly. I will literally make up a Christmas miracle for it. My kids won't know who Santa is. They'll know Eli Manning with the half sack face with the helmet off.
Oh, with the grass sticking out of his face mask. And the shoulder pad coming out against the 49ers.
We'll kill it there. Any closing comments? Anything you guys want to support, plug? Anything you want to mention on here?
No.
Great.
Nah?
Go Birds.
Nah. Go. I got nothing to say.
Go Giants, go Birds. Bears this week.
Rams
this week.
We got the Bears this week?
Yeah.
Sick. 1-1. Here we come.
Khalil Mack is going to have a very nice...
Now you know they're going 0-2.
Dude, Khalil Mack is literally the only person on that defense. Come on.
Who else is on that defense?
I mean, I can't name you guys, but I definitely know for a fact that defense is
Eddie Jackson
better
still there?
than I think that defense is better than.
Okay, we're fine.
But all right, so you guys know the drill. Like, subscribe, follow us. Please give us any feedback that you want on the episode. Share it. Fan mail would be great.
Fan mail.
Send us tons of Capri Suns would be awesome. As many as possible. For these guys, Blue Moons or whatever beer of choice. What's the choice beer?
I don't know. These are my fridge. My sister.
If you drop them off,
Stone.
We will not be mad.
Send us cream soda, Dr. Pepper. It's
Dr.
fabulous.
Pepper. If you ever watch this, Dr. Pepper, we would love to be sponsored by Dr. Pepper. Frankie said he will get a tattoo on his forehead for the cause.
That he wants a tattoo on his head that says "It's the sweet one."
It's the sweet one. But you gotta make it tiny, and every other letter gets bigger. So it sounds like it's the sweet one. Thank you guys again for watching the episode. You guys know the drill. See you next week.
Number 2.
Your number 2 is you.
It is you.
Yes, let's go.
It is you.
And now I know what your number 1 is.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right.
My number 2 is you. I think that show is fantastic.
Spectacular.
Joe Goldberg, fantastic character. Phenomenal character. Oh my God.
It's so good. Yeah,
insane. The first season was better than the second season, in my opinion.
Okay.
Although I do like the dynamic between Joe and Love, who's like the crazy girlfriend, almost on the same level as Joe.
You didn't see it until the end. That's why I think I don't like season 2 better, but that's why I kind of like with season 2 a little bit more, is because you don't see it coming, and then she's like, "Surprise! I'm a psycho."
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're like,
which was a
shit.
great twist, amazing twist.
What?
That's what makes.